On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if Kite Man got his kite back, if the Ninja Turtles got their family back, and we'll find out how many emails we can read in one show, and if any of our former co-hosts come back. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast that picks their favorite comic book-based TV shows that came out that week and then reviews those. This week we're going to be reviewing more than just TV shows, though, because we have a big episode. We're going to be reviewing 550 episodes of memories, 550 episodes of laughs, 550 chuckles, and more.
Chortles?
We have a big episode. To celebrate that, we have brought in so many people. We got a packed studio, but I have to, of course, start this off with the faithful, our founding pod daddies, I would say. Let me bring on Ryan first.
Oh my God, Cassie. It is so nice to be here tonight. What a star-studded event. I saw Benny Blanco in the hall.
Yeah, dude.
Dressed great, looking good.
He's just going to stay in the hall, though. Couldn't get him into the podcast, but I did get him to come to the hallway.
I appreciate that. Jessica Simpson's current husband is here.
And we all know who that is.
Yes. So I'm excited to meet him and have him, I don't know, read some emails or something. So yeah, this is crazy. I can't, those are probably the two most famous people here.
Absolutely. We're not going to top that. Again, they probably won't make it into the studio, but we got some other big people here.
Oh, I heard that we hired the world's leading current Charlton Heston impersonator, so that's awesome.
And we all, again, know who that is, and that's going to be really cool and fun.
He's 78 years old, but he's trying out there every day in front of Grauman's Chinese Theater, making it work.
Besides that lovely individual, I also have Mike here.
I've always liked to think that while Ryan is the podcast daddy, I'm more of the podcast zaddy.
Okay, any rebuttal there? Are you insulted that you're not the zaddy, Ryan?
No, I don't want to be
okay.
any part of a zaddy that would have me as a member of its daddiness.
Mike, if you could really clarify for the people, what exactly do you think do you bring that makes it zaddy for you?
Just a general... What were you going to say, Ryan?
I was just going to say he was wearing you're wearing your zoot suit, which is very nice looking.
It's my zoot suit. It's very zaddy. There's going to be a riot.
There's going to be a riot because the people are going to get too excited because we have some people from the past here. The Greg heads have been shouting, have been yelling at us for years. That's right. We got them back in studio. It's Greg.
Yeah. Well, you did it, Greg heads. You got me back here.
The bad boy of superheroes back.
Yeah. The guy who finally said, you know what? I don't want to watch these shows anymore. Even to hang out with my friends and have fun and laugh. I will not spend the week watching these shows. But to prepare for tonight, I did do a complete rewatch of The Flash.
Perfect.
And The Green Arrow. So I hope that comes up.
You watched the show The Green Arrow. Oh, did you watch all the seasons of The Green Arrow? Okay.
This fucking chump.
It's called Arrow, buddy. Why don't you open a book?
Okay, you did it. You revealed that I did not watch all the seasons of Arrow. Thank you for that, Ryan. But I, of course, did watch all the seasons of The Flash.
The Flash you got right.
No denying
all
that.
10.
Yeah. All 10. 10 seasons?
It was absurd.
Yeah, let that set in.
There was 2.5 good seasons of that show. And then they just kept making them.
We also have Taylor here, former co-host. We got him back. Welcome, Taylor.
Yes, well, I've joined them back from the past. I've come to you from a different time. And I won't be keeping this voice for the entire show. I think I'm feeling myself come back to myself slowly as I speak on the microphone, and I do feel better. I do have to say, if you call either of these people Pod Daddy ever again, I will burn this organization to the ground. I may have extricated myself, but I still hold all the keys. I still know where I know where the bodies are kept.
We're a cloud-based organization. Good luck burning that down. We're in the air, motherfucker.
I'm in the mainframe.
I do have a question for all of us, current employees at Pop Filter. Why did we keep the bodies and not bury them? How does he know where they're kept? Shouldn't we have put them in the ground at some point?
Well, because we're cloud-based. It's in the air.
Yeah.
We don't have ground access.
Where would we drop them?
We tied a bunch of balloons to each body, and they're just floating and hanging
In a way.
about the middle of the warehouse.
It's pretty whimsical, honestly.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, just a nose will fall on your head.
Yeah. We thought, what if Balloon Boy was real?
Also, shoot it down, bitch. Now you have a fucking corpse in your backyard. That's just on you now.
That's a conversation piece. You're probably wondering why there's a dead human here. Huh? It's an interesting story.
Are you having trouble making friends at parties? Consider a corpse.
But because of our hanging balloon corpses, we have actually never...
Which sounds like prolapsed anus, but keep going.
We've never had to let an intern go.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me back, guys.
Who's hosting this shit?
I appreciate being here.
I gave it over to Greg. Greg's in studio. He's here.
Yeah, it's all Greg now. I will say, just like Greg, I didn't go back and watch all of The Flash, but I did watch 255 times the episode of Legends of Tomorrow where Gorilla Grodd goes back to kill President Barack Obama.
Yes.
So that actually was my research to sort of get back into the role.
What I liked about that episode was it revealed that it was Gorilla Grodd who, also going back in time, told Barack Obama, wear that tan suit. And he's like, well,
trying to ruin him.
it's an unconventional choice, but I think I'll do it. And then it nearly tore the country apart, Ryan.
My new best friend, Michelle, we hung out earlier this week, and she said they took apparently a lot of liberties with that episode, and that's not exactly how the conversation with Gorilla Grodd and Barry went down.
I love the thing that's still in the forefront of Michelle Obama's mind is that one episode of Legends of Tomorrow. She just has to keep talking about it.
I don't want to be president, but I do want to address this episode of Legends of Tomorrow. Is it one of the Bebo ones? Yes.
Aren't they all?
Can you guys, let me ask you guys an honest question. Will you, after this show drops, go to the Greg Head subreddit and read the comments, or are we just too proud to do that?
See what all the Greg heads are saying about it.
Seeing as there's no Rye Guy subreddit.
There's not even a nickname for your people,
No.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look at that at all.
I think your people are called the Rhinos.
Ryan in name only?
Ryan fans in name only.
Yeah, they're actually real mean to you.
Mike's fans are called the Michael Moss.
Okay.
Taylor, of course, has the T-Money Honeys.
Yes,
That's strong. That's good.
That's not the cheerleading group that follows him around?
it's both.
It's a solid T-ball name, too. Like, there's a lot of possibilities for that one.
Yeah.
And the Cassie fans are, of course, called Caitlin.
Yeah. We have good times here, guys. We have great times.
We are friends and we laugh together.
And we have so much fun. And we've been doing it for
chuckle
550.
sometimes.
And
I
sometimes
think.
we chuckle. Mike, do you remember your very favorite chuckle from these past episodes?
That I did?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it was,
laugh.
What's the chuckle that I did?
What? No, yeah, give us Ryan.
It was like 179 episodes. It was so endearing. Ryan went...
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Okay, yeah.
We'll see if we can top that though, because we have a big episode. We are going to be. You guys sent us all a bunch of emails. We will be going to those emails and celebrating 550. But before we do that, we got to do a little bit of a show, and we're going to talk about some comic book TV shows. So let's go do that right now. We are back for the pull list. Let's start it off with talking about Kite Man.
In the season finale of Kite Man Hell Yeah, Kite Man Hell Yeah and Golden Glider are told by Helen Villigan that only Kite Man Hell Yeah is incorruptible enough to deal with the anti-life equation. So the Noonan's gang decides he has to get purposely possessed and then killed, Exorcist style. And only Glider can kill him. Taste buds, I ask you this. Did Kite Man Hell Yeah sail to, and then of course, stick the landing?
Cassie, did you watch?
I did watch.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at, too. It's so hard to take Harley Quinn out of your head, but I think that's so unfair because Harley Quinn is like a top 10 of the year show. Mm-hmm. As far as telling this story, wrapping this story up, I thought it was great. It all led to an Act 3 that I was excited to see the outcome, and I thought that all of the fighting, outer and inner fighting, was great. So the jokes are they're so dependable, I think. You have Darkseid and Bane, who just two of the
voices.
funniest comedians on TV, and then they're together at some points, which is amazing. But at the end, I thought it was well choreographed, and that's sort of what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Turning everybody into cats, all of Lex's assassins, and then turning them back not into cats, depending on who was more in control of the fight right then. That did it for me. If you didn't watch, fuck you. Big sense of what that means.
It had it told a bigger story than I thought. Kite Man, in all the season, it pulled off more than I thought it could with the first couple of episodes. Because I was like, I don't know how much we're gonna get out of this, but I thought it did as much as it could, and it was entertaining.
And despite getting his kite back before that big finale, the whole episode used his sort of sweet dumbness instead of his cool kite in order to save the day.
Yes.
And I like that. I like that a lot.
His actual superpower is he's just a dumb sweetie.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of our side characters who are all amazing. We got a lot of Queen of Fables. So anything involving they know that the whole ensemble is strong, and I feel like each person got enough time to shine. Bane was just trying to shit the whole time, and he really shone in this episode, just trying to take a poop the whole episode.
Yeah. Did you guys know that lactose intolerant could mean either you have crazy diarrhea or you're constipated?
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
Sometimes it's one, and then it's hold, and then it kicks into the other gear, and then that's a real show.
Your sphincter is just the Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man on the train.
Exactly. And then when it gives, those webs snap.
And then the inside
And
of your
that
toilet.
train fucking moves, right?
The inside of your toilet is like Johnny Depp getting sucked into that bed in Nightmare. And I don't even mean with poop. I mean with blood. Guys,
I
my
got
butt
that.
has problems.
Well, and on that note, I believe it's time to go to Moments of the Week for Kite Man. Hell yeah. Ryan, what do you got?
I feel like that all of the creators of these shows listen to our podcast, obviously. And guys, am I making it too easy for them to know how to deliver me a moment of the week? Because Darkseid loses and he's angry at the end, and so he just sees a thug next to him and just kicks him off the building. And that's gonna get my moment of the week every week.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mike, what do you got for Moment of the Week?
Darkseid is a petty bitch, and he had chipped Malice's cat Cheshire. And because the chip was not intended to be attacked by a 5-story tall chicken, it got ripped out of the cat. But instead of continuing his mission and trying to get the anti-life equation, he goes back to PetSmart to deal with Brandon, the teenager who sold him the chip. And because he said this had a warranty, and your guarantee means nothing. That's
I'm really.
man.
Everybody shits on the work ethic of this generation, but Brandon's like, Darkseid says, "Okay, you have to be my slave for eternity." He's like, "Well, I can start Thursday because I have to let my boss know."
I know, he was really working for it.
Yeah.
Also, he took him to hell to be, to torture him, and all he was having him do was try to get his money back for the chip. And we're still working on, human laws. They're like, no, dude, it's out of the cat. You're going to lose your warranty.
That also had some of my favorite moments where Darkseid starts this whole thing of calling Tassad a party pooper, and then rephrases that 8 different times in the episode.
If you look around and you can't find the pooper, what do you think that means?
My moment of the week is they introduced this whole plan with talking about Kite Man just talking about The Exorcist. No, yeah. And every time they tell the whole plot, specifically Brandon, the pet store guy, when he hears about it, he also tells the whole plot, and the most fuck yeah, dude, that thing's awesome. It was very great.
Another good moment
Mike?
because Goldilocks is in the 80s. I finally got worn down enough that her shtick is getting to me, and I like it. But we have these pockets are too hot. This cuisine is too lean.
Solid. If you haven't gone to check it out, Kite Man Hell Yeah is on Max. Our next show that we're going to be talking about is Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
On the 8th and 9th episodes of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the rainstorm rages on as the sewers begin to flood. This week, Mikey stops a convenience store robbery with Genghis Frog, while April and Splinter fight a mutant named Goldfin. Taste Buds, I ask you this. What do you think Goldfin's theme song should be?
Goldfin.
That's it. Yeah, you just gotta go. You gotta do the bump on the fin.
Yeah, he's the fin that's made of gold.
But you mustn't touch.
But you mustn't.
Yeah. Same thing that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks. These are super funny. I love the fight choreography here. This is where the animation really kicks into style when they're just hanging out talking. And you get this with comic book artists too. Sometimes comic book artists can't do the one-on-one conversations. They can only do the action pages. That's what I get a lot of this show. This show doesn't know what to do with its style when the scenes are a little bit, more laid back. But when the punching starts to happen, it looks so great. But yeah, and unfortunately, we know this is probably going to be the case for the rest of the season. The whole group is separated, and it's just not why I tune into this show,
Is it because all the turtles are so busy with their other projects that they couldn't get them in the same set?
That's honestly what it feels like. And Io is in this show, but other than that, the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are voiced by the kids from the movie. Like, they're not working that much.
Yeah.
The impression I got is that they're really trying to build up this group of turtles more than any previous one as 4 individuals.
Right.
And so I think this is meant to really support future endeavors with this group of turtles because they want you to know that they're different than the original ones, but still sort of like anchored in them. And so I think that it's a whole season of this is who these boys are.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point because one of my complaints with Mutant Mayhem, it was illegal in all Pop Filter podcasts to have any complaints about Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah, I don't like you alluding to it
Yeah.
even like this.
Watch yourself.
Was that they sort of drew the turtles all back personality-wise to sort of become similar. And then with this, style or this decision, now they're growing out of that in even more three-dimensional ways. I totally get that. But they're dynamic together is what I love. And I just don't think that the Care Bear cousins or whatever they're called that, populated the entire movie and some of the show, it's just not the same. Like, those are one-dimensional characters. And again, the Splinter thing is so weird. Raphael is telling the story, and he's doing Splinter's voice as Batman, and like there are people you could hire besides Jackie Chan instead of coming up with all of this stuff to do.
Because they couldn't get Jackie Chan?
Yeah, I don't think there was any way, but he almost did the movie as a favor.
He's
worth $1 billion.
It's so weird because there's so many ways around that, and they picked a way that kind of underlined
Hanks
the fact
Lantern,
that he's
yeah.
not.
Yeah. And what I would just do is just not make Splinter's voice a white guy. And then you've gotten around so many poo problems.
Oh, there's a guy who would have been great. He did a great Jackie Chan impression from there was a cartoon in the late 90s called The Jackie Chan Adventures. I bet he would have crushed it.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, this is just waste. It's I don't understand what this explanation is.
Do you got a moment of the week?
Yes, my moment of the week is we do feature the Mikey episode. Mikey goes out with a Genghis frog, who was one of my favorite toys as a kid. I love the pun play because of the similarities between the Hun and frog. It fits in so great. But Genghis Frog's whole B plot in this episode is that instead of stopping the robbers, he wants to eat a cat. So in this episode, we learn that he's Haitian.
Oh my goodness. What a topical show.
If you want to check it out, it's on Paramount Plus. That is it for the pull list. Taylor, if I could grab you for a second. I believe last we spoke you were working on a big website. If you have any details to share about it now, I would love for you to take this opportunity.
Yeah, well, I can't quite remember. It's been so long since I've seen a website.
You caught him so flat-footed, he went right back to the voice.
There's a certain website that I've often visited. What was the name of that website again?
Mike, do you
Greg,
remember?
can you help me, my friend?
I think it was 4score7clicks ago.com.
Yes, that's right. It would tell you exactly the closest place where you could find a Wendy's near you.
Not the Wendy's website.
No. I don't have access to that. that would be far above my pay grade. I'm sure they have a corporate website for that you could use. I just wanted to do it for the love of the game.
Are you a big fan of Wendy's?
So.
Okay, that feels like a lot of time to put towards this.
I like the square burgers.
Yeah, it's fun. It's different.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's super fun.
Yeah,
What's,
it feels traditional. I appreciate.
Taperham Lincoln, do you agree with putting French fries in your Frosty?
Well, listen, I don't want to yuck anyone else's yum. I say, if you put your fries in your Frosty, I understand you want a little bit of salty and you also want a little bit of sweet. But for me, I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I do the fries first, then I gargle the fries with some Diet Coca-Cola. Then I spit that off into one of the nice bowls that they have. It's filled with like the mashed potatoes. And then I pour the Frosty on top of that, and then I eat that as a concoction, the way our forefathers intended. But, if you like to put the fries in the Frosty, who am I to tell you? Shine on, you crazy diamond.
Because you're such a fan of the tradition, what do you feel about the new berry-flavored Frosty?
Oh, they can fuck right off. I swear to God, every day we move further from God's light, and, if Wendy were still here, God rest her soul, she wouldn't be putting up with this bullshit.
These libs, man.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be berry flavored now.
Oops, all berry Frosties. Do you love Wendy's because there's free refills on sarsaparilla?
Oh yeah. Oh, you know me and a sarsaparilla. We go way back. Give me a little of that sassafras root any way you can get it in my body.
Taylor would trade his sleeve garters for just one sweet sip of sarsaparilla.
Oh boy. Oh, if I could, I would wear one spat around. If it meant I could have one good sarsaparilla. Oh dear.
Well, Taperham Lincoln, I believe this website, maybe there is a need for it. Maybe one person specifically would like to visit it. So I'm going to send you over to my friends who are going to help you make this website just because it's a real passion project for you. And I want to get you to the right people. Cybersprout.net, they're going to help you build it. They got experts that are well-versed in digital strategy and elegant design. They work hand in hand with you. They fucking love Frosty. Cybersprout.net, your partner for a digital world. Now let's go answer your emails. We're back, and now that we're done with the nonsense that is reviewing comic book TV shows, we can get to the real business, what everybody came for. That's right, it's email time. You have sent them. Let's start it off. This one addressed, Hello Nerds. Lately I've been re-binging Supergirl during my sports video game playing. During a crossover episode featuring Barry Allen's wedding to his sister, weird, Kara is getting a manicure along with other bridesmaids. The electric nail file burns out and explodes during the scene, and Kara proclaims to have a lot of creatine in her diet. This made me curious. Taste buds, I ask you this. How do Supergirl / Superman / Homelander / Invincible clip their fingernails? Also, how did they do it as children before they had boundless future tech at their fingertips? First thought, Ryan.
Yes.
What do you think about this? How'd they do that?
They don't. They do what all champions do and bite them.
Obviously.
I was gonna say laser eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe you just burn them down with the laser eyes.
I was going to say, I can't remember who said this, but just like a piece of metal from the ship that they came down on.
Okay.
Just like
just break off.
Fashion. It's the old shaving question.
What if he had to what if Superman had to go in a subterranean bunker for 3 days just to be able to clip his nails, just to get weak enough to clip his nails?
Do you think Wolverine has the same problem? Does he have vibranium in his hair? Can he get a haircut from a regular person, or
one, it's adamantium. Two, it's on
my
his
God.
bones. You fucking fake ass fan. So no,
my
it's
God.
not
Our
in his
first
hair unless
email
you think
from
there's
Mike.
bones in your hairs.
there might?
God
Okay, but I
damn
get
it.
it. It's in his bones. I know that.
Okay.
But what if it?
Caitlin, are you a doctor?
Does it show?
I will say, Caitlin is onto something here because I've always wondered this about characters with healing factors. Does it apply to their fingernails? And so, if they clip their fingernails, does it just grow back immediately? And at what point does it stop growing?
I think that if I was Superman, what I would do is just to make my life easier and then also intimidate bad guys is just let all 10 grow as long as they can, and you're in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes.
Gain a little bit of weight, have a twin brother, get on a motorcycle, you're in the book multiple times.
Double in the book. And use those long, indestructible nails like Spider-Man uses his webs. You just hook that around buildings and stuff and swing.
Oh no!
Hey, by the way, what is it that there have been 50 plus iterations of the Guinness Book of World Records? The two we all know are the guy with the long fingernails and the fat twins on the motorcycles. Are there any others that anyone knows?
Those are the
are the ones
records
that
that have
matter.
stood for the longest time.
The most impressive.
Can't you guys just imagine that Avengers shot at the end of the first movie where the camera pans around the team and it's just the guy with long fingernails and the two fat guys on a motorcycle? The Guinness Avengers.
My memory is that those guys were the fattest twins, but that was like 1970 or 1980.
Oh yeah, America's
Had fatter twins.
We
since
surely.
No, I don't know. They were really in the weapons
then. Wait,
grade
they could
twin level.
they could both get on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've had fatter twins. There's no way
there's
to get on a motorcycle.
There's twins that fat that aren't even trying these days.
Yeah.
But do you remember, like, everyone thinks when they're thinking of it, they're like, those were really tiny motorcycles. Those were just really big dudes. I think each of them was like 6'6". I think that's really what we're talking about here is like pure size.
Okay.
Like these were 2 units on
Yeah,
their
but
own.
weight is
and
weight.
they happen to be twins.
What if that's the part? What if it's not the fat, which we can do? What if they're the twinniest anybody has ever twins? They're basically human clones of each other. And that's why they're in the
I
book.
thought you were going to say, what if they were like
good book.
Kingpin, comic book character, and they appear,
Greg.
They appear to just be fatties, but really they're like all muscle,
Full muscle.
like
muscle.
hip hopopotami.
They're not the fattest twins, but they like muscled their way in there. They
Yeah.
threatened.
Oh.
They're actually buff as hell.
Yeah.
And anyways, yeah, that's how superheroes clip their fingernails.
Yeah. Or get motorcycles and then aim your feet towards the ground and let the street do the grinding.
Yeah,
There
grind
we-
them on
That's
down.
what I do, and I don't even have super feet.
You're just that cool.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, buddy.
Thanks.
That question came from your pal, producer Dave. Thank you, producer Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Next question.
Just waving at us from the booth.
This is your real one. This one is from Poppin' Bottles, Poppin' Pimples. What has been your favorite part about doing the show over the years? Mike is a founding pod daddy. I'll send it over to you.
It
Is it
I
receiving
always-
generic emails?
assumed that my level of tolerance for poor quality would go down as I aged. And it's so nice to know I can still watch trash. But I also have the work-life balance to be able to skip trash and not feel bad.
When you said my tolerance for poor quality, I thought you were talking about the show we make.
I also
Yeah.
thought so.
Yeah,
Did I say
thought
anything in
you
a way
meant-
that made you not think it's still there?
Yeah, I thought you meant just like the quality of friends that you keep.
Yeah,
as
that's-
a
Now I
company.
skip. I skip these friends sometimes.
yeah. That's fair.
That feels good. I'm glad we're all here together. Thank you. Greg, for the portion that you were on this, did you have a favorite part about doing it? Clearly not watching the shows.
Quitting.
Okay, yeah. I
quit.
I famously did not like the shows that much, so I will say I really liked when we would see we would get together and see a movie together, like a comic book movie, and then like watching it that way. We do another podcast called Movie of the Year. We watch movies very
Get your plug out of
intensely.
here. Get your plug out.
I'm just saying. It was very organic. I thought to the proceedings.
Yeah.
But
ABC.
like coming out of a movie together and talking about it and being like, oh, we're gonna do a show about this. That was some of the most fun. Honestly, talking about comic book stuff with my friends has always been the best part of this show.
Greg being on that show in that era was like, people would say like, we are at peak TV, and Greg was like, nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No, we are not.
Yeah.
Ensure you we are not. Taylor, as a former host of this, what stood out for you?
Honestly, like the thing that this isn't my favorite at all, but it is a thing that I think about kind of frequently is based on what Greg said. When we went to the theater to watch the first episodes of the Inhumans TV show,
That was insane.
that like not even Marvel wanted to like admit happened, and they like shoved all of the Marvel Netflix stuff off to the side. They were like, the Inhumans is also way worse, and just like paying money, going and sitting down in a movie theater and watching a couple of episodes, not even the full run, a couple of episodes
Oh my gosh.
of that show, and then having to talk about it was like, it was such a bizarre experience.
Has anything ever looked like more of a TV show than a TV show
No.
on a big screen? Like
It was
that?
legit like being in a porn theater where there's no sex in the porno. Like, that's what the production value was. That's what the acting was. God, those... What?
It
what are we
looked
doing?
like watching like the one episode a season of CSI where they like went on location somewhere as like a special event, but like it's still CSI. That's what the entire show looked like.
I truly didn't.
Because the Inhumans were in Hawaii for some reason.
Yeah.
I think they all wanted to just go to Hawaii.
It's truly
Yeah, I
insane.
would too.
Yeah, Caitlin, as someone
silly bullshit like that is absolutely my favorite part of doing this show.
in part of the show that would make you watch only this, only this show could make you do that. Like you spent money, you had to carve out time out of your week.
There was no one else in the theater.
Nobody knew this happened. I couldn't tell you this was in theaters. Like that is insane. Caitlin, you got anything that stands out?
I think just the consistent love for Legends of Tomorrow. It was a show that I never heard of until this show. That was always fun hearing everyone's love for it. And then of course I have to bring up Smallville. The fact that the show introduced me to Smallville, it's gonna have a place in my heart, a place on my paycheck forever. That box set will stay with me until I die and will be passed on to my children and generations forward. Will know about your pop filter and the Superhero Show.
Oh, your children are going to really enjoy your DVD box set. I'm sure they will find many opportunities.
It's a collector set, Ryan.
They're just whipping these weird silver discs at each other.
They will love it.
It's the next Beyblade that they'll be using. Throw it in the Battle Dome.
Well, she didn't mean they would enjoy the DVD. She meant because she bought it on credit, they would be paying off.
Yes.
Yeah,
For generations to
severe
come.
debt.
Generational debt.
I never knew being the reason somebody was an addict would be so much fun.
Yeah, right.
And it really, as a group, we gave her that. We broke Caitlin's life, and I am pretty proud of it.
I would not show up on this show until I finished all 10 seasons of Smallville.
And we
That's
salute
your
you.
fault.
You're a hero. You're an
That is
absolute
your
hero.
fucking fault.
And these are not 10 seasons of HBO Max 8 episodes. This is 250
Oh, yeah.
Like
episodes.
23 episodes a season. Like
Cassie, 23, 26.
Yeah. This is when they would require so many episodes from you that it literally ruined people's lives just trying to produce the amount of content. And the networks were just like, more.
It's the unending maw of the networks. It's why there's an episode where they just stop battling to watch Remy Zero because they had to fill fucking time.
it's also the reason why there's a whole episode dedicated to Stride Gum, which I don't even know if is still out there.
Dude, shout out to episodes of Riverdale where they would seriously stop the entire episode to talk about Bumble.
There's distinctly
Bumble for
an episode
hours.
like, I'm on Bumble, and Andy Cohen is here, and we're going to go see Love, Simon.
Greg Berlanti, no shame. Mike, is Remy Zero, is that the one that's Vertical Horizon?
Remy Zero is Vertical Horizon, and they once covered the Verbs The Freshman.
I love that band.
Wow. I think I might have just had a stroke because I could understand all the words Mike was saying, but the order made no sense.
I think I had a stroke because I understood every single word of what Mike just said. I
It's the most
understood.
Taylor has ever agreed with me.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, Mike's really making sense for the first time in my life.
Let's go to our next question. We have from our friend Paul that he wants to know, what comic book would you most want turned into a live action TV show? I can't read, so I'll turn it over to somebody who can read. Mike.
I just thank you, Paul, from Waiting for Doom, for writing such an inventive, thoughtful question that really took a lot of brain energy to send our way. It means so very much. Thank you. And fuck it, I want like a miniseries that's Kingdom Come.
And for the people who don't know about
DC's
Kingdom Come?
It's DC's weird, futuristic, biblical world ending. Let's just get a weird...
hell yeah.
Let's stop being like, "What? How long can this show last?" No, here are your 8 episodes, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Or how about
Let's
this?
put Christ back in comics.
What about, because James Gunn has been very adamant about how all TV and cartoons and movies are going to work together.
Why do they keep doing this
He
shit?
came up with that idea on his own. It made me nervous about Batman Caped Crusader getting renewed because that does not fit in the world, but it got renewed. What about this? Instead of What If being, 10 episodes one-off, Elseworlds the show, and each season is a different Elseworlds
yeah.
story.
So
we
like
get
Gotham by Gaslight. Yeah, buddy.
Red Sun.
It's got to be Gotham by Gaslight. That's so much fun. For me, I'm going to say the comic East meets West,
Oh.
which is nice because it's done. Like it's a completed run of the comic, and so you would know exactly where you're going. Basically, the United States, it's like an alternate history. The United States is like kind of like 5 different kingdoms that all have their own distinct personalities, and it's very Games of Thrones in terms of like people betraying each other and alliances being forged. And it's also the sort of like the impending apocalypse. And it's so vibey and so cool. And I think if they took the visual style from it and plugged it in, it would really work.
Is there dragons in that though?
There are not dragons, but there's like all sorts of weird creatures.
Not gonna.
That's the one that's Jonathan Hickman, right?
Yeah, East of West, I think it's actually called.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, it is so like sumptuous, so visually interesting. The story is so dense. The characters are so cool. I think that it's like kind of set up for you.
Well, Paul, even though Mike shat on that, we do appreciate you sending that over.
I have another one. It was a pretty good question.
Well, I have my first one if after Mike goes for a second time.
Yeah, we'll let Mike go for a
Sure.
second time, and then it will be your
Thank
turn,
you.
Ryan.
We actually haven't gotten a horror comic done well adapted, and I want my favorite comic as an adult that I found it is hitting no nostalgia is Something is Killing the Children. It's just visually fucking awesome, and I think it'd be so terrifying. And the main character would be you would see her at every con ever. She has such a simple but badass look.
And what is it, Mike? Gun violence? I'm just kidding. That's just
Gun violence is killing the
that's
children.
just sort of a funny joke about the leading cause.
It's vaping.
It's an
of death
unseen
amongst
horror
children.
in the town the adults won't admit. It's gun violence.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's just sort of. That's kind of just funny thing to think about.
On that funny note, Ryan, what podcast or comic would you turn into a show?
Oh, well, if we're going to talk about what podcast to turn into a comic book, that would be the superhero show.
Hell yeah, superhero show.
But I know this sounds, I think I've given this answer multiple times. Despite Paul writing such an original email, we have answered this before. There's one show that's very famous on Superhero Show because I believe me, Taylor, and Mike reviewed it, but all watched different episodes.
Yes,
But didn't know until the end of the segment. And that was called Powerless, I want to say.
it was.
Okay.
Vanessa
Yeah, it
Hudgens'
was.
own Powerless.
So,
Yeah.
incredible idea, terrible execution. What I want is an MCU show, and this is the kind of shows that I think that they should be doing, is called Damage Control,
Yeah.
where after giant battles, there's a group of normal people who has to go and clean up. Whether you make it a broad sitcom or even like a dark comedy, I think that there's so much material there. And to say that, like, we're going to make, Ant-Man 3 on this broad scope, and then we're going to on TV make the TV shows like that as well. That's not going to happen. No one's going to fall for it. Make the TV shows like a workplace comedy drama like Damage Control.
Michael Schur's Damage Control.
Perfect. Also, what are the initials of Damage Control?
DC.
Think about that shit.
Was it?
Their
And
distinguished competition.
Damage Control was in the first Spider-Man movie, right? Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes, Michael Keaton.
That was like, I'm sure, I don't know if anybody else in the show felt this way, but I was unreasonably hyped to hear
Yeah.
Damage Control
Yes.
in that movie.
Let's go on to our next one, and I think Paul has proven that it was a good question.
Can we say Squirrel Girl before we leave too?
Oh, hell yeah. That's a great answer.
Cool.
Can I just say Moon Knight?
Moon Knight.
Even though they
should do
did
that.
it.
Yeah, I just like more.
Boy.
I think I
Oscar
gave that answer my
Isaac,
first
I am.
episode of this podcast.
Our next one comes from @GregHead1. They want to know, what can you guys do to get Greg back on the show? Love that guy.
Make it about movies.
Yeah, make it all about movies and not make me watch terrible TV shows.
It's pretty
Yeah,
simple.
bring him back every 100 episodes.
Yeah.
This is in his contract now.
Bring me back intermittently. I think that's the way to do it. That way I don't get a case of the grumpies.
We want a happy Greg over here.
Yeah, dude. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but then I get slightly grouchy, and it's like, wow, this guy
Whoa,
he got
who's-
dark pretty quick.
You would be angry at us, like we had a gun to your head making you on the show.
I know, and
Like-
that's why I finally just quit the show, because I was like nobody's making me be on this show, but I was getting so pissed off because I was like, this fucking episode of Arrow. Oh my god! Of course,
And it was Arrow.
I was watching a show called Green Arrow, which is why I was so confused.
Yeah,
Green Arrow.
that one was on Tubi.
He's got a sidekick that's addicted to the dope. Oh my god!
Wait, was it on Tubi or not Tubi?
That's the question,
Yeah.
right?
It was at moments like that, because that's what's almost getting me off the show.
And
also
also,
getting me off.
let's be very fucking clear about Greg heads. Like they're into the sad sack, like character. Like that's what they love, you know.
First off, about the Greg heads, they're real. It's a real thing. It's an
They get it.
It's an existing phenomenon that I'm commenting on, not something that I made up. Okay?
Would there be shirts? And there are Greg head shirts if there were not Greg heads.
Right?
Shirts or shirt.
I have a banner in my office that says Greg heads get it. So it's got to be a real thing.
It's absolutely a real thing. I mean, they're sending us emails, so
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
real.
And Greg heads get it that like they get it like they understand.
Exactly.
They get it like puss.
Exactly.
You know? Like there's so many meanings.
Yep,
Greg
there
heads
you
can
go.
get it.
Yeah.
There you go. Greg heads get it.
Next, we got what could have possibly saved Clooney's Batman from being the worst ever, and that's from Kathsai.
Bigger
That's
nipples.
100% more nipples.
Dinner
like-
plate nipples.
Wait,
Kind of floppy ones.
Yeah.
The puffy floppy ones.
Yes.
Why did everyone rush to scream nipples?
no one remembers anything about that movie except for nippies.
What if
Tomb Raider nipples.
What if the nipples were actually functional and he secreted a little something that he could feed
bat
Robin?
poison.
He
Or yeah,
could
his
feed
shark
Robin.
repellent shot out of the nipple. Yeah.
Or we get a scene because that's the one where he has the Batman charge card. It like, pays for everything. I want to see like him in the bank in his bat costume, working through all the paperwork and hammering out interest rates for his charge card.
You know what? I'll tell you really what the problem with that movie is. It's like, I'm going to go camp with the Batman movies. And it's like, wait, have you seen the other ones? That's the direction
Yeah.
they already went. So if you keep trying to go in that direction, it's just going to be too far.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is that you hired, like Burton made the first two, and then you tried to hire like double Burton
Yeah.
for the other two, and then it just, it got all out of control.
So just more nipples is what I think we nailed it on the
Yeah, we
first one.
focused on
It
more
really
nipples.
nipples.
Larger.
As
different
many nipples as a bat has on a suit.
And Cassie, I'm going to stop you right now. I guarantee you this is our answer for the next email as well.
Perfect. Let's
More
see what that
nipples.
one is.
Also, I'm gonna say that the existing nipples on the suit, just like kind of like a standard nipple, maybe a puffy. You know, maybe go puffy.
One puffy.
Something to think about.
Did Batgirl have nipples? I don't know, Greg.
Milk her.
I'm a bad girl.
I saw your face. Just,
Yeah, dude. I had like such a processing look on my face. My brain was going in so many different directions at the same time.
the light of 1,000
Yeah.
suns just came out of Greg's mouth.
Oh man.
Let's go to the next one. Comes from Pickle Jar Dick on the bar. They say, with the podcast converting to format that doesn't cover every TV show based on a comic book every week, what are you guys doing with your new free time? Ryan, have you done anything big with all this extra time? Have you like cured cancer?
I mean, just like the act of not watching stuff is so much better for your health. You know, like the act of because back when we were just doing the rotation, which would mean that a Walking Dead show would get like every 6th week or whatever, just a shitty week. Like the whole week, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that week was.
Kicking dogs.
But then remember how like once a season, Walking Dead would be like, okay, no bullshit. This is the good episode this season.
Yeah, if you're Taylor,
and then I
yes.
would tell everyone that, and then they'd watch the next episode and be like, "No, it's not. This fucking
Walking Dead's
sucks,
back
you
this
piece of
time,
shit."
guys.
It's bullshit again.
I'm like, God damn it!
I mean, I think that
Every single time.
I think that Walking Dead was in part responsible for, and there's been a lot of bad TV shows that went on too long, but in part responsible for like the whole Netflix model of just make 60 or 59 minutes of nothing and then 1 minute of like cliffhanger,
Yeah.
and then that will
Yeah.
get people pressing next episode. That's
Yeah.
all you really need. And so it just, but if you're watching week to week like we were, it was killing us. Even those Marvel Netflix shows, like to not be able to binge them and get them out of your life, but to go one at a
Yeah.
time, it fucking sucks so much.
And then, like, just talking to Avoid because everybody had already processed that
Yeah.
it was terrible, and we were like, "Hey, let's go back to it. Remember, it sucks."
So
It's
we're on
bad.
the 7th episode.
And if you guys don't remember, it was a bad one.
And there was no amount of like details you could share. Like, oh, I watched the 7th episode, and you're like, oh, it was when this happened, this happened, this happened.
Yeah.
No recollection whatsoever.
Oh, was that part of the soup? Don't remember it.
Let's go to our next one. That it's going to come from Give Batboy his Bat Baba. They want to know if you were transported into the Bat Wheelsiverse, what type of car / vehicle would you be?
Great question.
Caitlin will take this one.
Wow. There are
if you
so
wanna,
many
If
great.
you're feeling for you, anybody else?
Wait, why did Caitlin stand up and a brick wall background just fell behind her?
Thank you all for coming to my TED Talk. No, I think there are some great wheels in Bat Wheels. And if you don't remember, I believe it was the Joker who had like an ice cream truck. Very cool. So from this group, I think the coolest person. No, it wasn't the Joker. Obviously, it was Mr. Freeze. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I was trying to keep my mouth shut. I was trying.
And for
The
that,
fact that Mike did, and I think it's only because it was Bat Wheels, that he was like, I'm not going to prove that I know shit about this.
that's gonna go for Mike. Mike, you're gonna get the ice cream truck.
But I don't think it's which one we would be. I thought it was what new characters, like what new kinds of vehicles.
Yeah.
Caitlin was
Oh.
entering
I guess
her
we can
first
interpret it
flow
all.
of the show. Who cares what the email asked? Just
Yeah,
let
that's
her go, dude.
Stupid
Yeah,
email
because I
anyway.
do
Keep
want to know
cooking.
what Caitlin wants to
Yeah,
ascribe
yeah.
to me as
Apply
the
it to
car.
everybody else. I'm sorry.
That's honestly the only car I remember.
There's a monster
What's the
truck.
Batmobile? You
She
don't
she remembered one, and she was like, "That's Mike for sure." So that's got to mean something.
That's honestly an honor.
Plus, I
The
think
hold
that
one.
I think the video game Twisted Metal proved how iconic ice cream trucks are, right? Like, of course,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the one you
Hell
remember.
yeah. Sweet Tooth.
But if we're making our own like Bat Wheels car, I just want my face plastered on a car, and I don't want it like digitized. I don't want it to match all the other Bat Wheels ones. I want it just my fucking face smeared across the front of a car.
A real JoJo Siwa.
Yeah. That's exactly what I want.
JoJo Seawheel. I think that Mike is like the haberdasher or something, and he's on a penny farthing, right?
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
That's good.
Dope.
That's good.
I think mine would just be like I'm just there. Like I'm not in a car. It's just me, and I'm very upset about it.
There is a robot there that's supposed to help him and doesn't help him that much. He's just
I would-
kind of.
Oh, that's Taylor.
I would definitely.
That's me. Yeah, that's me to a T, man.
I don't know if you can actually be an existing car, but I would be like maybe a lookalike car. I would be the Volkswagen microbus.
A bus
You know,
is
kind of that
so good.
that classic like 1960s, like laid back, can't really go fast, kind of somehow big and small at the same time. Just very chill. If there's ever a car that was a stoner, it's definitely that one. So
Yeah, for sure.
Hey guys, why are you rushing everywhere?
yeah, slow down, literally, because I can. I'm going up this hill and I'm in fourth gear. This is as fast as I go right
Little
now.
kids love that character in an action pack show.
They really connect to that one.
Be like all wheezy and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I would be like I'd be like their advisor or something. They'd come and talk to me at the end of the mission. And
The wise old guy they go talk
Yeah,
to, like
exactly.
debriefs with him.
Yeah.
I see Cassie as like the blurt man, and she has a Segway,
Fuck,
and she
she's
just
so
tells
good.
people what to do.
Segway.
Bat Wheels
so
for
powerful.
Segway.
You gonna hop on that Segway right now, Cassie?
Yeah,
Just
I'm
because you're such a good host and you have Segways.
Yeah. That's pretty.
Woo! Let's go to it. We have our next one. Comes from Neil Gaiman himself. He says,
no.
"Sandman season 2. Do he fuck over under?"
Wow.
This would be in poor taste, Neil. Poor taste anytime Neil and sex is involved in the same sentence right now, buddy.
Can
Yeah,
I just
but-
say, obviously,
But yeah, Sandman fucks.
there's a lot that's unfortunate about the Neil Gaiman stuff. Most unfortunate, though, is I read all of American Gods.
Oh,
I really
that's-
could have used that time back. I was like, this is not a good book. And now it's also from a problematic author. No, thank you.
No, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
He did quit season 3 of Good Omens so they can make it. Otherwise, they weren't going to be able to make it with him
Shouldn't
on
we
it.
just close down all his shit?
Yeah, I
Like,
think you can close it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but that has two of like America's and the UK's favorite actors.
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
two goodest guys, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
And there's
I do like Good Omens.
there's so much fan fiction out there. The people would be devastated.
About Tennant and Sheen
Yeah.
fucking going
Yeah.
at each other.
Yeah, they would if they
Kissing
lost
each
that
other.
Not even
dude.
their
Like,
characters.
Doing little
God,
little kisses.
we can't lose that.
You know what I love is that they're nice to everybody but each other. On Zooms, they really
Yeah.
hate each other, and that's just what I think friendship is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
We know you do. We know you do.
Yeah. Mike, who does he love more than anyone else in the world besides you?
Unfortunately.
And how does he show that?
We got our next question. Paul actually sent us another one. We'll see if there's a redemption form here.
Oh,
It
is
says-
this one like when you podcast, do you record it?
It says another question for your anniversary thing. A little demeaning, but okay.
Yeah, the thing there.
That little thing
Yeah.
you guys are doing.
We deserve that.
He said, "What's your most beloved collectible that you own?" Mike, I feel like you collect some things. You got a beloved?
I'm trying to rank them right now, and that feels cruel.
You know what's weird about Mike is whatever it is, it's by his bare feet. Why does
I do have a lot by my
He
feet.
always keeps things by his bare feet.
Yeah, there's a tie. There's a tie for 2 right now. I have an action figure of Wolverine holding the photo, looking sad at it.
So good, dude.
yeah,
That is
that's
so-
pretty good.
Very good.
And then I
Should
have.
we tell? Should you also explain where you got it, who got it for you, stuff like that?
How great of a
It's in
friend
a-
they are to you.
The box does look like a VHS, so that's pretty cool. And it was a very good friend whose name escapes me at the moment, who got it for me for I think Christmas or 1 year. And then another Christmas present, and collectible feels putting it down because it's also like my common law wife, is I do have a like McFarlane level, not that company, but level detailed carved figure of Greta the Gremlin. And love that.
She's in the Pop Filter Hall of Fame, right?
Mike will not even let us see the figurine. A lot of his stuff is on camera every time we record, but he actually has never even shown us the Greta the Gremlin figurine.
Well, the light might fry out some of the color. I can't. Gotta protect her.
That is that one, like, put in your will. That is the most important thing you own. Make sure that goes to
for
somebody
sure.
good.
It's because I'm not having kids. It's actually in addition to Caitlin's DVD set and debt, her kids will also get my Greta the Gremlin
That's a fucking honor.
Can I
when
go?
she dies, which is
Wow.
weird.
Because you don't have any goddaughters or anything, so
Can
give it
I
to her.
go?
Well, I don't want to bag a goddaughter I might love with bullshit dumb plastic things.
Yes, Greg.
When I was a kid, I used to simply destroy sugar cereals. And Fruit Loops had an offer where they would, if you sent in like X amount of box tops and some money, when one of the Star Wars re-releases was in theaters, they would send you a Han Solo dressed as a stormtrooper figurine from the Hasbro. And I was too lazy to collect the box tops and send in the money. And so I just didn't. And then one day it arrived at my house because my mom had collected the box tops.
Whoa.
And my mom had sent in the money. And I didn't even know it was coming, so I didn't even have to wait for it. And so now I have the very, kind of rare actually, Han Solo dressed as a stormtrooper. It looks nothing like Han Solo, but it does look exactly like a stormtrooper.
That's so
That is-
cool.
Got half it right.
That is so sweet.
Thanks,
too.
Mom.
Does your mom want to be my mom as well? Can you reach out to her? Can I
Is
see?
she in the market?
Is she
She's
looking
still
for
collecting those
full
box
grown?
tops.
How's she doing for daughters?
How's it looking over there? Anybody else big collectors? Caitlin, you have some things.
I do have quite a few things. One recent thing is I have a popcorn bucket that is Jabba the Hutt. And
Oh, hell yeah.
I value that very much because when you do open it to put your hand in there to get some popcorn, it does go wah, 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 wah.
It's like that thing where you open your fridge and it goes like it oinks like a pig because of how fat you are.
Also,
love
if you got some of that butter on the outside, that would normally be like annoying on a popcorn bucket. But I think for Jabba, you got to get a little bit
greases
of
him
a
up,
glisten on
yeah.
the
Gotta
outside,
grease
right?
my boy up.
Yeah, dude. He should glisten in the sun.
The problem is that if you eat with an open mouth, popcorn will come out and you'll get salacious crumbs all over your.
Could you imagine being a big space slug and you go live on a desert planet?
It sucks.
Like, if he was outside for 1 minute, he would fucking die, dude. All that
why it's a
water
power
would evaporate out of him.
Or why didn't Luke, when he went in there to save Han, just throw salt at him?
right
Yeah.
on him. That's a
Salt his game.
That's a salt, brother. That's a salt, brother.
Sorry, Caitlin,
We gotta-
still your turn.
Anyway, continue, Caitlin.
Unfortunately, because you guys nailed that, that has to end the show. Well, like, what else are we gonna do, guys? What
Talk
else
about
can we
all
do?
my lightsabers that I own, Cassie.
What? Give us the rundown on your Kyber crystal collection.
My Kyber crystals?
Yeah, how many Kybers you got?
I
How
got so
Kybers you
many
looking at?
Kybers.
Oh man, we went to Disney and we came back with so many Kyber crystals.
Greg just named Caitlin's next two kids, Kyber and Crystals.
The twins.
Neither one is spelled in a way that you would be familiar with.
That's unfair to Crystal because she's gonna be a stripper. That's unfair.
She's gonna get
Pour
paid.
some sugar on me.
Do we got any other collectors in the house, or should I move on?
Yeah, I got a couple I want to mention.
Yeah.
I love my Cobra Kai Ralph Macchio signed
Yeah.
picture.
Yep, that's a good one.
Birthday present from Cassie and Caitlin. I have a trophy behind me. It's a trophy with a cape that said "World's Greatest Superhero." That is also a dad. That was from my daughter. So
Very cute. Very cute.
I do have a Spider-Man comic book signed by Stan Lee just before he died. I think that pen was in his hand as he croaked.
Wow. Excelsior.
But and this is not this. All right, Greg, enough said. This is not a collector's item, but it's so important to me. There is a weather-worn, flood-worn, totally fucked up Spider-Man stand-up in my office that has traveled with me forever.
Yeah.
And right now he's wearing a lei and an 80s gangster chain. And
it scares the shit out of me every week when I see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, where's that? Oh, it's Peter Parker Spider-Man.
It's just Peter Parker. It's fine.
But yeah. And all my memories with hanging out with you guys. Those I collect those.
Yeah.
Taylor, how many empty bottles of root beer are around your apartment now for your collection?
I actually recently got rid of all the empty bottles of root beer because they were taking up too much space. But I do have a lot of empty bottles of root beer. I also have I think the closest thing to a collectible I have is I've got a Gundam Wing Master Grade. That is the only one that I display on my desk because it brings me a lot of joy and it looks cool and he's got big wings and he's got big guns. And I have that.
And his name's Guns and Wings?
Guns and Wings got big guns and wings?
Yeah, Guns and Wings.
Obviously, a Gundam, that's like something you assembled yourself, right? You built that?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Nice.
It took me several days.
What color is it?
It's, you know the Gundam color?
The Gundam.
White.
It's like
Gundam.
silvery white.
Okay.
Yellow.
it's like white and blue and red and a little bit of yellow.
Okay.
Classic Gundam.
It's got those colors.
Yeah.
I saw one that was like completely clear one time. I was like, that would be fucking hard.
Fuck, I do want the all clear ones, but they only show those. They only bring those out at like special events, like at Comic-Con and shit. And I don't have any of those because they're also all like $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Who has bigger
I do
wings
want one
than
of those, though.
Taylor's wingman Greg laying out the red carpet to talk about how he built that thing and it was not pretty?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more email before we go to a quick little break. This one's gonna come from Banana Chugger. They say you can recast the podcast, but only using F1 drivers. And I'm gonna need to call in my hot girls who watch F1, aka
Yes.
Greg and Caitlin here. Does anybody else? Taylor, have you become a hot girl who watches F1?
No, it's the furthest thing from one of my interests.
Okay.
I
Great,
can't-
then this is
I
a
can't
me-
even begin.
This is a meeting of the minds.
Wow, what
here.
a Daniel Ricciardo thing to say.
Got his ass, Greg.
Yeah, I assume that was devastating to me, but again, like water off a duck's back with
I'm
me.
gonna say because of his boyish charms and poise under pressure, Taylor should be Oscar Piastri.
I could see that. Just
Yeah.
like a wholesome little guy too.
Piastri the Disastry.
Yeah.
Because of his like exotic charms and general smooth operation, I think Mike should of course be Carlos Sainz.
Oh, okay.
That
but
is-
hear me out.
That is a big honor, Mike. I just gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also Mike also gives me Valtteri Bottas.
Oh, yeah.
So
much. Especially if you talk about the extracurriculars.
Yeah.
I can see Mike coming out with an all nude calendar.
Mike, this is
Is Valtteri, is he a known stickman? Is that why?
Yeah, he's probably the fuckboy of F1. I mean, he
He's got a
released a
mullet.
calendar. He released a calendar of all nude pics of him.
he posts his ass. He posts
Yeah.
thirst traps nonstop, and he just
Yeah.
said, "Let me do this for charity." Put out a calendar where his ass.
yeah.
It's just a different ass shot for every month.
He's
And,
keeping
it was
it
a
pretty-
day-to-day calendar. It's 365 nude pictures.
He's keeping it pretty
Real
slutty
quick.
out there.
I started to Google Oscar Piastri, and why is one of the first auto completes Oscar Piastri 911? Like, what do I not know about this man that you have assigned
He
to
posted
me?
a picture in a
planet.
plane on 9/11.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So he didn't do it though, right?
Maybe
No.
he did.
Nah,
Like, he is probably younger than 9/11.
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah.
like
he was
20.
probably like
And I don't know if you've ever spoken to somebody who is younger than 9/11, but 9/11 for them might as well have been Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
was
give a
gonna say.
fuck. Like it's ancient history.
Did Japan do that one?
Yeah, and they're just like whatever. Some buildings came down, and I'm like still deeply like impacted by that, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right. It was nothing.
The world changed.
Mike,
You couldn't listen to country music radio for like 5 years.
Mike, if you look up Valtteri Bottas, it looks exactly like after talking to you for like even 10 minutes. This is what people would think your dad looks exactly like.
How do you even spell
For-
any of those words?
Valtteri Bottas.
I had to rely on Google to fix my shit a lot when I looked him up.
Talk amongst yourselves while I look this up.
based on his sort of like dominance and fuck you personality, I'm gonna say Ryan should be Max Verstappen.
For sure.
I could like
Right?
it. Yeah.
Do 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 do. Max Verstappen.
He's got a theme song?
Yeah. He does.
That is the only thing I know about F1.
Leclerc. Charles Leclerc.
Charles
Leclerc.
Leclerc.
I have to give Cassie. You're gonna have to be our Charles Leclerc because I feel like
that's also an honor.
you could do such a good piano rendition of this episode after it's done. And
Yeah,
then
all you
release
guys
it.
need to know about this F1 driver is when he has a bad race, he turns to the piano and releases it on Spotify.
Is this WWE? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I looked up Max Verstappen, and he looks like if you took Adam Scott and like squished his head a little bit.
He looks like King Sloth.
And I'm going to go based on the fact that he is basically a fan favorite of the entire sport, kind of like the main character currently of the sport. Lando Norris, I think would be me.
Oh yeah, just a little
Right?
sweetie pie.
Yeah, kind of a heartthrob, a little bit of a sweetie pie. Everybody naturally roots for him.
Everybody kind of like gathers around him. They're like, I love this guy.
At the same time, kind of a loser. Like not totally a loser, but like a little bit of a loser.
a little bit when you hear him talk, you're like,
Lando has a little bit of that loser energy. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Caitlin, I would say clearly.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, Yuki, absolutely.
Oh, both of you? You got that one?
Sure.
I cuss too
can-
much. I yell at everyone.
When you hear that F1 has a Japanese driver, you're like, oh, I bet I know exactly how this guy acts. No, you don't. Yuki Tsunoda is just constantly swearing the entire time, always complaining, always getting in everybody's way.
Does he bust out of the car every time and sing the Tokyo Drift song like Caitlin does?
He has more energy than anybody else in F1.
The
Until it
squirrel
comes-
girl of F1.
Yeah, until it comes to practicing, and then he's like, "This fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
wanna
want to do this." You interview him. You're like, "What's your dream job?" He's like, "I would love to be a chef." He's an F1 driver. He has a dream job.
he also he does work out all the time, but it's hard to get him to do it.
Yeah, you really got to convince him.
He won't wake up early. He's great.
You ask him any serious question, he kind of just talks about farting. Just like,
Holy shit. This is your guys' best one. That is Caitlin.
I think we absolutely nailed that. Let's go take a break. But when we come back, we have a lot more emails, and we will be answering those. We are back. Let's dive right into those emails. This one's going to come from Snail Ninja. They say, with only 5 shows airing for the rest of the year, Agatha All Along, The Penguin, Creature Commandos, Heartstopper, and Superman and Lois, which would you bet on being the best and which the worst? Caitlin, I feel like I know your ranking on that, at least your best, but why don't you give me a little bit of rundown, what you're thinking?
What was the last one? Penguin Protection Program, or what was it?
Yeah, it's absolutely Penguin Protection Program. There is Agatha All Along, The Penguin, Creature Commandos, Heartstopper, and then Lois, Superman and Lois.
Wow, that's a hard one. I'm gonna have to go Creature Commandos because talking about underwear on like creatures, it's weird.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do that one as my bottom,
Uh-huh.
and then Superman and
Yeah.
Lois is my top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks absolutely.
I feel like creatures should be the people who wear underwear the most. Like maybe even 2 pairs.
Yeah, Frankenstein's monster gonna have some funky junk.
Mike is writing a song from the 70s.
Let him go. Let him cook.
Frankenstein's monster got funky junk.
Mike, what are you thinking for all these shows? Any you're excited for?
I think the opposite. I think given what Gunn has done, I think Creature Commandos might be pretty fucking awesome. And there's no like, you ruined it, because who gives a shit about the Creature Commandos in the comics? So it's just gonna be like a fun cartoon. But I love, this is not to besmirch the good name of the actress we all love, who's playing Agatha, whose name I definitely know. And
Catherine
haven't forgotten for
Hahn.
once. Thank you,
Catherine
Catherine
Hahn.
Hahn, who we all know.
But-
You're thinking
but
of.
Mike is not saying out of respect.
What Marvel has done.
Uh-huh.
Heartstopper's going to be the worst, guys. The last season was as good as the first season, and it's going to get even worse.
What?
I feel
And we got all the Joe Locke we want in Agatha all along.
I feel I have no issues betting on like Mike was saying with the past, Agatha all along being the worst of those 5. And
Really?
reviews are coming out about Penguin, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, Penguin I think is definitely going to be the best. I thought Catherine Hahn was awesome in Vision right up until the point where she reveals herself to be Agatha, at which point she like didn't find the right like volume for the character. And so then to have the whole show rely on her playing the character in a way that she just didn't seem to quite get. I don't know. I got bad vibes about that show.
And it just came out that each episode is a play on a horror trope instead of a sitcom trope. So does that sound like, going back to the thing that worked, or trying to copy the thing and it won't work?
Honestly,
Yep.
if we watch her play a different character than Agatha, basically the entire episode, right up until she reveals that she's Agatha in every episode, that might
Good.
work.
Could be pretty good.
Honestly, yeah, I'm on board now.
Yeah.
I wasn't before, but now I'm like, okay, yeah, if that's what it is, count me in.
But I think that Heartstopper's floor is so high that I couldn't pick it at the worst. Like, even if it doesn't hit its ceiling, the worst it could be is still very good. Yeah.
What if
It's
we get
so
an
weird.
episode all about the emo kid we hate?
It's
We
just
or
you.
specifically.
That guy sucks. You guys are crazy.
And what Caitlin means is it's just you. You're the
You're
emo
the
kid.
emo
That's what I
kid.
heard. That's what I also read. I'm the emo kid we hate.
I think she
got
meant
it.
both meanings, but let's not ask her.
It's hard to see yourself on screen. It sucks. Let's go to our next one. This comes from at the Destroyer. They want to know who would win in a fight: Null, Godzilla, Darkseid, or Omni-Man. Taylor, I feel like you're good at stacking people
Godzilla.
up.
It's Godzilla.
Yeah.
I don't even know why this is a fucking question. Godzilla's the most beefiest boy we've ever seen. According to the new Legendary movies, he's got pink breath now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You can't do shit to that.
Wait, like
Godzilla,
conjunctivitis
Godzilla-
of the breath?
he's the king of the monsters. I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah.
First of all, self-appointed. Like, that was not. We didn't vote that in. He announced himself.
Oh
to be
no,
the
no,
king
he
of-
beat the shit out of a
Yeah,
bunch of monsters.
he just-
I don't know.
Yeah,
You
nobody
may not be
votes
up on the
for a
lore.
king.
They come for him, and then he smacks them around, and then they're like, "Yep, so he's still number one."
Ryan, he ate Ghidorah. Okay,
Yeah.
he fucking ate
Ate
him.
him. He ate him up.
God,
Also, in the latest movie, he suplexes King Kong. He
That's-
straight up suplexes.
with his
That's
tiny little
bad.
arms.
Yeah.
And he looks pretty fucking great on my new jacket.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering when the jacket
Both
was coming
sides of Mike's jacket feature Godzilla.
It's so important to note that.
Did you guys see Noel is about to be a Hollywood movie star?
Yeah.
Oh, is he in like? Is he gonna be like in the new
Venom
like,
saved the
Gladiator?
last dance.
He's the villain of Venom 3.
Oh fuck yeah! Let's go. Guys, I'm so fucking ready for Venom. Let's go.
Oh, I love Venom.
Seen all those trailers. I've seen the trailers for all 3 movies. So
You're good.
I've seen each of those movies at least 3 times, upwards of 5 on some of them.
That's crazy.
I do have to say, Tom Hardy's like, I can't control my body acting.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yes.
saying that makes the movies worth it, but he does a good job.
oh, in the
He's in a
trailer,
great spot.
Venom has taken over him and becomes addicted to slot machines, and he's just pounding the slot machine as fast as possible. And
Yes.
it did make me miss Steve Martin and All of Me a little bit, you know?
Yeah, dude.
But I don't want to watch a
It's
Venom
very
movie to
good.
see that.
No, and there's a whole bit in Venom Let There Be Carnage where Venom breaks up with Eddie and then goes out like starts just like latching on to other people that he fully controls and goes out to a gay rave and gives a speech to everyone about how Eddie won't let him out of the closet. And everyone like lifts him up on their shoulders and carries him through the crowd. He's like, "You are my people." They're the best fucking movies, you guys.
That's the thing, is everyone I've ever talked to about a Venom movie, like, at the end of the conversation, I'm still like, so is it good or not? Like, I don't know.
Earlier,
There are
they're
flashes
my
of
favorite
weirdness.
movies.
earlier we were talking about movies where you watch them but you like them while you're watching them and then
Yeah.
dislike them when you leave. Venom, I think, is the opposite. While you're watching, you're like, "This is stupid. I'm angry," and then later you think back on it, and you're like, "Well, that one part was funny. Well, that one part was entertaining. Well, I did like that part."
I do want to know, before we move on from this, who would get absolutely wrecked out of those? Who's the weakest? Null, Godzilla.
Read them off again.
Null, Godzilla, Darkseid, and Omni-Man.
Godzilla.
No, absolutely
wanna
wrong.
anger
The
Taylor.
other ones are like gods among men. He's a god among Zillas. He's fucking dead, dude.
We'll just not be in agreement over that. I'll move on to our next one.
Wait, hold on, Cassie, though. Can we imagine Eddie Brock running up to Godzilla and putting his finger out, and then Godzilla Venom is taking over?
Yeah.
You can't make Taylor come like that on the podcast. I can't. I simply can't do that.
I haven't felt like that in ages.
All right, let's go on to our next one. It's going to come from Corkscrew Penis. They want to know the television landscape has changed so much over the course of your show, and not necessarily for the better. What changes would you make to TV and how it's made? Ryan, I feel like you kind of know about TV and things.
They're flatter now. That's cool.
That's cool.
Oh,
I like that. But I don't know. I would the binge thing is the thing that drives me crazy. I don't understand what their methodology is that makes them think that a show that drops on Netflix gets more press or viewers than a show on HBO Max, like House of the Dragon, which goes week to week. Like, you control the conversation, and maybe that's not worth money, but that part I think is so. That's the one thing that I don't like as much.
Yeah.
And the non-binge model lends it like an episodic structure. Let TV be TV again. Let it tell singular stories that build up to a story. Don't be like, well, I couldn't make this a movie, so I wrote an 8-hour boring movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say number one is just don't have like a minimum episode number attached to every single idea.
Or season number.
Yeah, like I would start from the premise of what's the fewest amount of episodes you could make this in, and try to like really like give us a 5-episode season. I think we can handle it.
Or the opposite. Give us 26 episodes. Get fucking stupid again.
Yeah.
Get them long. I was going to say, don't get to the premise of your show in the last episode of season 1.
Surf
Stop
Dracula.
doing that bullshit.
Don't surf Dracula. Our
Don't
asses.
surf Dracula.
That common phrase. Our next question comes from Alexis. They ask, which character from your shows are each of you the most like, or is there a show in whole that you guys think you resemble the cast of?
Well, for Mike, we have the guy from Heartstopper.
Yeah, that's been established.
The emo guy from Heartstoppers.
Yeah, of course.
Let's break Mike. Let's break Mike.
I think Cassie is very much like, what was her name? Gaia from Secret Invasion, who has the babyest Drax arm.
Okay, I thought we decided to not make fun of Cassie's right
Yeah,
arm.
not my
but,
messed up arm. I thought that was all in agreement. I thought we had I thought you signed that contract, but okay.
Episode
Ryan-
550, he unveils the ableism.
It's the one ism I've been holding on to. Ryan is that bad guy in Sweet Tooth with the red glasses who we all love to hate.
But importantly, not hate to love, just the love to hate part.
We just love to hate.
Yeah.
I feel like Cassie has a big Bebo energy.
Oh my
No.
god! Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
I do see that.
Thank you so much. There's at least 2 people in agreement,
Yeah.
so I'm going to take this
The
victory.
yays
Cassie
have it.
is
Yeah.
is what's her name? The leader of Legends of Tomorrow. White Canary.
Sarah
White
Lance?
Canary.
Yes, that you're White Canary.
That's a good get. I would go
Okay,
with
I'll
that,
take it, but,
actually.
Yeah,
but there's
that's
also
pretty good.
there's
Yeah.
also Bebo, so I'll take both, and I'll say thank you so much.
You're like if Bebo touched White Canary and the Bebo
Yeah.
symbiote went all over it. Symbiote?
Caitlyn is like Robin in Titans because she's always trying to fuck Batman.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Taylor's Doc Holliday from Winona Earp.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure.
Next one we got, it's from Human Centipede Enthusiasts. They want to know if each of you had to give up one part of your body that would then be used to stitch together another human that could be on the podcast, what part of your body would you give up? Caitlin, I'll start with you.
Wow.
What part of your body are you willing to give up to create another human life?
First of all, incredible question. Thank you, whoever sent this in.
Thank you, human centipede
Thank you.
enthusiast.
Thank you, Human Centipede, for sending this over. I would like to give my spleen. I don't think it does anything.
We do gotta form a human. And
Hold
I
on.
don't know.
We have to make an entire human, and
Yeah,
all
and
she's giving up
it's
is
just
her
giving us a
spleen?
spleen,
Yeah.
dude.
I don't know
Just
how
have to
big
give
it
up
is.
so much.
I don't know much about it, so I have a feeling it's not important. So
I think that the spleen is pretty important, right?
not
I
me.
mean, it
I
probably
don't think
does
that.
something.
I think it helps you fight diseases. I think you can not have it, but I don't think you aim to not have it.
I'll
Except
give
for
up.
Caitlin.
I'll give up my kidney stones,
Oh, very nice.
That's generous.
and those will
nice.
be their testicles.
I'll give up my top half.
Top half.
Full top half?
Yeah. Well, because I feel like we're not getting close enough to a person here.
we
So I'll
currently
give
have
up-
like 3 pebbles, and
Yeah.
then
I feel like the top half was mostly immiserating me, so I think that I'll just keep the bottom half. There's some
And
good
you
stuff
get to
down
keep
there.
the sweet calves there.
Yeah, Greg
Yeah.
just wants to keep his legs.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I hang on to those.
All right, if that's the case, then I'm gonna put Taylor in fishnets and red high heels, and I'm gonna give up Taylor's legs on Greg's top half.
Yeah, for sure. I was already sort of leaning towards. I think my legs need to go. I've got these long gams.
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna look good on
I mean,
there.
can we make a short king and just give up half of Taylor's legs for
Sure.
Greg's torso?
Yeah.
absolutely,
And then now Taylor has tiny legs?
absolutely.
Now, okay, well, so would I be giving up my top half of my legs or my bottom half of my legs?
The middle.
The middle,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
No.
it'd be
Middle.
Nice.
Okay, great.
A cotton
so
hill
so
thing.
I have
You're-
like a fat thigh that just truncates immediately down to a little ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hold
then-
on, talk
and then
slower.
they've got-
That is what I'm
with-
into.
Yeah, with no knees, and then they've got just sort of like a weird sort of flapping hinge situation.
What is hotter? Taylor's turned himself to Cotton from King of the Hill?
Yeah.
Essentially?
Are we making like a pop filter like Voltron at this point?
yeah,
Yes,
that's the goal.
They can take like the back right of my brain.
I'm gonna be so upset if tonight I get hit in the back of the head and I wake up and like all of this is like what we've said on this Zoom call
came
is
true.
going to be real.
This
in
was
real
all
life.
producer Dave.
all producer Cronenberg.
It's like I've seen enough movies. I know how this goes. Our hubris. We thought it was a funny joke.
now
We
look
foreshadowed our own demise.
I mean, the question's from human centipede enthusiast.
So it
number
could-
one.
then it's fine.
Yeah.
we're all fine.
And kind of the fact that they're not Cronenberg enthusiast, but human, that kind of
Yeah.
like shows the low level of
I'll
their
tell you what
IQ.
we're not doing, human centipede enthusiast. Anything you would like.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know we're not here the ones to ask questions, but like, Cassie, say the order of human centipede you want on the people here right now. If we had the human centipede, say it.
Oh, we have a breaking email. A late breaking email.
You obviously gotta take first position. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Anything else?
I thought maybe you were a hero.
No. What? Like what type of
Wait,
freak you
first
put
in line or last in line?
First in
in
line.
line.
You're giving Mike first in line?
No, he asked what I would take.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a freak. Like I don't want midpoint. Like I'm not gonna take
No.
anything
No.
but first.
Midpoint's
It's-
the worst
we
one.
can all agree like best is the front,
Yeah.
second best is the back,
back,
and
yeah.
pretty much everything in the middle is bad.
It's an airplane row situation.
If we put Mike as first, we're gonna get so fat. We're gonna eat so much.
I don't stop shitting. What if a strict diet of only shit is what we figure out my body needs?
all along.
No.
Your doctor's just like, well, I have something experimental for you, Mike.
How familiar are you with the human centipede franchise?
Thank you so much, human centipede enthusiasts.
Also, it's called the human centipede, but shouldn't it be the human centipede?
Oh,
Are you ready to move on?
I see,
no, I'm
yeah.
glad we went back for that. That was worth it. This one is going to come from Ricola Suave. They want to know, what do you think the podcast will cover after you finish Spider-Man the Animated Series, another Marvel 90s show? Do you guys have anything in mind that you're like planning up? Any ideas?
There is a direct sequel to Spider-Man the Animated Series, but they lost a lot of the rights. So even though they use the guitar lick from the same theme song, nothing else, and he instantly has to go to Beast World, and he's like, bye friends that we bought the rights for this one episode, never gonna see any of you again.
Please don't say anything.
Well, that's our selection, Cassie. I want to see the shit out of it. So, like,
Insane.
swap meet Spider-Man is what you're describing?
Yes, it's fucking nuts. He follows Venom and Carnage, who start walking around like the Williker brothers from Horton Hears a Who cartoon. They like have these bouncy shoulders, going on a spaceship. He's like, I should follow them. Can't let them leave Earth. And then they end up on Counter Earth, and it's fucking insane, you guys.
If Venom and Carnage want to leave Earth, just
let
let them
them.
leave Earth.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
perfect-
the whole problem with them is that they are on Earth.
Yeah. They need a different context.
I actually was doing some research the other day, and do you know what has the most episodes besides the shows that we've done? Is X-Men Evolutions, a show that I know nothing about.
Yeah,
I watched that
show.
one.
A younger generation than us is really into that. That's like their X-Men.
But this whole swap meet Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm already sold. Like, we absolutely have to.
Also, Cassie, could we do a thing? Could we make a pact right now? You missed the last episode of Superhero. I hosted Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Took meticulous notes.
Yeah.
And was following them through. I was saying what I wanted, and it didn't matter because Mike interrupted and said, "No, I will take." Like I really paid attention, and he just would.
Yeah.
Should we
You're
just-
still wrong.
Can we just give it to him?
I don't know. Like,
I don't want it.
Once
Then
this
shut
is what's
the
gonna
fuck
happen.
up.
As soon as
Shut
we
the
give it,
fuck.
Just get it right.
like if we give it to him, it's gonna fall apart. But he lives to say that we are telling it wrong. So
Oh man, there was like
You guys are so bad at chronological order of what happens in a TV show.
we're skipping scenes on purpose because we don't want to talk about them. And you're like, well, no, I had a funny joke about this, so I got to go back.
gotta
I've never
say
had
it.
a funny joke.
Checkmate, Ryan.
The job is yours, Mike.
you're in. All right, our next question, it comes from Red, White, and Blue Waffle. They ask, what do Daredevil, Foggy Nelson, and Wilson Fisk sound like when they're slurping on chili dogs outside of Tasty Freeze?
You just want impressions?
Yeah, it's impression time. I am, of course, going to turn this over to Caitlin first. Caitlin, can you please give us Daredevil slurping on a chili dog outside of Tasty Freeze?
Of course. Oops, wrong way.
Wait,
You couldn't see the chili dog at
Because
first.
he's blind, Cassie. He can fight crime as a blind man, but can't eat a
But
chili
he
dog.
Can't, he can't slurp on a chili dog.
He's got a
See 'em if
cover.
they don't move.
He's got a cover.
Oh, what if people are watching? I should miss my mouth with this chili dog.
What's the wrong way?
Yeah,
There's no wrong way to slurp down a chili dog.
What
sideways.
started wrong?
Honestly, I do think sucking on a chili dog, there is
Yeah.
no right way.
That's a Foggy Nelson type of thing to do. Like,
Fucking out chili dogs.
Foggy Nelson does it
Froggy
full.
and Matt.
Foggy Nelson does it full hot dog competition style, versus just dip in the water and jam it in.
Oh,
Wilson
man.
Fisk goes into a fugue state and just tells a long story about how his father beat him with chili dogs.
you
Outside
know-
the Tasty Freeze.
Do you know they made them stop dunking the hot dogs in water because people stopped watching it because it's so disgusting to watch
Yeah.
people do that. And so they're like, okay, you can't do that part anymore.
Well, now that Lip Bizkit album title makes no sense.
And obviously, Wilson Fisk is turn some classical music on. Say, Vanessa, would you
Vanessa,
like a
right?
chili
Yeah.
dog too?
Hey, guys, how many chili dogs do you think Joey Chestnut could suck down?
If Joey Chestnut could suck down a chili dog.
over Labor Day on Netflix, Joey
Yes.
Chestnut, yeah, and he ate like 80 hot dogs. So I'm
Yeah,
guessing,
it was so many.
I'm guessing
There
he
But like,
There are
do you think the
build-up.
chili makes it better or worse?
worse, harder.
Just lube
for
it up.
sure.
Oh man, at his
That's
age,
kind of what I'm thinking, Mike.
the
It
heartburn
might
that chili
lube it
would
up.
give him at his age is intense. Like, you better put Tums in that water. You can't.
That man
not-
hasn't shit in 20 years. What are you talking about?
He looked like he was in so much distress after he ate like those 80 hot dogs. He looked really bad.
So he's at the end of the Human Centipede then. Just chugging as hard as he can. Just sucking you dry.
And the woman who ate 18 pounds of watermelon for like the build-up eating competition, she's in
Yeah.
the front. Because all she did that rest of that day was shit.
Did she spit out the seeds like they were a machine gun?
Yeah, and that's going to be so watery.
Ew.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I got scientific
Too
with it.
far, Taylor. Now we're at a
Taylor,
line.
you're disgusting.
You're a sicko. Let's move on because Taylor's nasty. Our next one comes from Zadamarans. They say Jack Quaid joins the MCU. Who would he play?
Oh, boy. Oh, Rick Jones.
Oh, he's such a
He
good
would
Rick
be
Jones.
the best like sidekick to every hero.
Oh, you're right. I was going to try and think of a better funny thing, but he is Rick Jones.
Or-
like he even kind of
Yeah.
looks like him.
Yeah.
Like it's just perfect.
The only other one I would have is who's the Great Lake Avengers guy who's like flat
2D man.
2D man, but it's Rick Jones.
Rick Jones.
Is it hard to like bring that across in a comic book? This guy's two-dimensional. Bro, they're all two-dimensional.
So
Hey,
different
man.
from everybody else.
Make one of these guys 3D if you want. That would really be sticking
The way,
out.
well, 3D's
Literally.
triathlon man, and he is the best. He has
The power of three
power
men.
of three.
The speed of 3 men, which is slightly less than the power
Can you
of the
imagine?
speed of 1 man. 3 men can't quite move at the speed of 1 man.
I only need to ask one person to help me move my couch. But 2D man, they draw more 3D because they show like
All
the back. Yeah.
folds.
The side of him.
Well, that one was a slam dunk. You guys all came into agreement for that one. Next question we got from Pop Culture Girly. They said, you all have watched some truly terrible shows. Which one stands out as being exceptionally bad? We've mentioned some Inhumans in theaters.
Yeah.
In
Ooh, that might, the Inhumans.
Well,
That's
Inhumans was. Here's the thing. I want to say this. Inhumans was bad, but I think it was the most perfectly middle bad. Like, it was so bad because there was nothing that we could really even make fun of it about.
We have blocked out things like V Wars. All right.
What
Yes.
was V-Wars?
Exactly, Cassie.
Wasn't that that
your
vampire one?
October. Yes, it was your October's faction.
And what was the vampire one? But it was like a kid, and he's like they're going to high school, but like
Daybreakers with Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick was in that.
He was the principal.
Oh no, he was a psychic.
I hate my brain.
Yeah, dude, your brain is fucked. It's done for.
Yeah.
Van Helsing, who we didn't meet, Van Helsing for the first season. They surfed Dracula the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Cloak and Dagger.
I do think. I mean, like, I think an argument could be made that Riverdale was the worst.
Absolutely not.
Show.
No, it
Like-
was so much fun to talk about.
No. It was fun. But like, I think at a certain point they were being bad intentionally. Like,
Go watch V
there's-
Wars. You tell me. You tell me that Riverdale is worse than V Wars.
Honestly, like if you're walking into a theater and you know this movie had like a $50,000 budget and it's everybody involved, it's their first movie, then you give it a lot of slack. They're not shooting for the fences. Is that what you do in basketball?
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's Inhumans. Like what they attempted to do, what they attempted to trick us in. Like there's so many low budget shows that didn't work, but that's fine. Inhumans was fucking trash.
There's been some bad
Yeah.
ones. Our next question comes from Penguin Pig? Penguiny Pig. That's it. A guinea pig, but a penguin and a pig, all into
Penguin
one.
pig. That's fun.
That's
we got
it.
there.
We're piecing it together.
That's fun.
Question is, Winona Earp is getting a follow-up movie that may tie up loose ends while telling us there were Wait, let me start over.
Pet guinea pig can't write.
Winona Earp is soon getting a follow-up movie that may tie up loose ends while telling us where the characters are now. What other shows do you think merit that treatment? I did it.
You did
I
it.
did it, guys. Let's just clap it
did
out
it.
for that real quick.
Honestly, for me, I do not care about loose ends. It's about which group of actors I want to see together again. Like,
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only thing I'm thinking about.
And the number one with a bullet is Winona Earp.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you, universe, for delivering that gift to me specifically.
Maybe the Tick?
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah,
Hell
I would
yeah.
want the
I
Tick.
would love that.
That's a good one.
It's not boding well that I can't remember the name of it, but the show was, it was like a redheaded girl and she had powers. And
Oh, yeah. It
Oh,
can happen to
yes.
me. It's all about
Yeah.
me.
It's all.
I'm not okay.
It's
not
it's
okay.
I'm not okay.
I am not okay.
That one was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fucking good.
And it literally ended like just as it was about to start. And like the whole thing
Yeah.
was good, even though it ended at the point that's like the apex of it. And we will never get resolution for that.
And it's like Carrie moment. Like
Yeah.
you've done the first 2 acts of Carrie, and then you're gonna like not give us the third one. And then speaking of that show, I could hang out a little bit more. Although I didn't say this during the second season, but now that it's been some time, I could hang out with the It's the End of the Fucking World
Yeah.
Yeah.
crew again. Oh, and have we mentioned Vagrant Queen yet tonight?
Oh shit, no.
No. The
Also
first
with Doc
Vagrant
Holliday?
Queen mentioned.
Everybody drink.
Yeah, there's some good shows that definitely ended too early. But why?
You know what? Dark Matter a little bit.
With Captain Mark Datter?
Yeah, I kind of want more Dark Matter.
That's crazy. You're the
was
only
the-
other person who remembers Dark Matter.
There's one person clamoring
My
for
brain
it.
is also bad.
What about this? Ron Funches, Abed from Community, Selena Gomez. Are there others?
It was Vanessa Hudgens, not Selena
Vanessa
Gomez.
Hudgens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Vanessa Hudgens and
Alan
fucking
Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk.
With a different group of writers, Powerless might have been okay.
It had potential.
Cast was stacked.
Yeah.
I should remember Vanessa Hudgens because running and just belting that one song. Was it?
Yeah. Since You've Been Gone.
Since You've Been Gone, just absolutely destroying it.
The only scene of that show I remember.
Yeah, I'm glad it is Winona Earp though. It's that perfect mix of great cast, weird show, great show. So, next question from @SmallvilleLover. They're asking, can you guys ask Caitlin who she thinks would be better in bed, beef Wellington or shredded grandpa?
Wow.
And then we have Caitlin.
You want all of us to ask her that?
I was
Say
not
it
expecting
together.
this question.
Caitlin, you are the only person who can speak to this.
Wow, this is so hard because Shredded Grandpa, he has experience. But I mean, Beef Wellington, he's got that Superman power. He's got that steez. I'm gonna have to go with Beef Wellington. Like, who doesn't want to bed Superman? You know?
You don't want the secret third option of both at once?
Nope, you already chose.
We'll have him in the cuck chair. It'll be fine.
And you know Beef Wellington is going to pull a Shannon Sharp and accidentally leave his Instagram live on to Lex Luthor,
Oh, man.
showing how him and Lex's dad are fucking the same girl at the same time.
I think Caitlin and her family have a lovely home, but it is uncomfortable every time you go there. They make you take the tour and look at the cuck chair they have in their bedroom.
It's sitting next to the hoarded cat.
When she looks at you and says, someday that'll be your chair.
All right, next we got from @Give Grimace a Knife. They want to know if you could go on
Freaks for fans.
if you could go on a date with any character from the shows you watch, who would it be, and what would you want that date to be? You guys horny for anybody? Besides,
Let me sum up real quick. You guys horny?
besides for Shredded Grandpa.
Shredded Grandpa.
My favorite cereal. I know Ryan. Can we answer for each other?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
All right. Ryan will go, whether he wants to or not, on a date with Asta from
Oh, yeah.
Resident Alien.
Yeah, he gets weird about Asta.
And they are going to. Look, this is. I
Is
think
that his
on a
like?
normal,
Is that his like thick friend?
Yeah, exactly. They're
is
going
a
to just
thickie.
be
She puts
at
the ass in
Target,
Asta.
trying on pants. That is Ryan's date with Asta.
Okay, I will answer for Mike after Cassie answers for somebody because I got to look something up.
I will put Taylor. I see you with Bebo.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. I do. That does seem correct. Actually.
I don't know what date Bebo would want to go on besides like a picnic.
Yeah.
You know what? Go karting.
I would treat Bebo right.
No, you
You
would.
know,
That's
I
why I
think
gave
I
you
would
Bebo.
Yeah. It's I if it wasn't Bebo, because now that you've said Bebo, that's the obvious answer. I was gonna say Ada from Agents of Shield.
Yeah, why, Taylor? Why?
Oh, yeah.
What would you rate her? what number? What numeral rating would you give her?
I'd give her it's like 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
That joke is 9 years old at this point, and I love it.
Taylor,
Yeah.
classic Would You Rather. Would you rather fuck 1,000 normal-sized Bebos or one giant 1,000 time size Bebo?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, now this is interesting. There's a lot to.
This
I'm gonna say
deserves
the
thought.
one really big Bebo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that makes him closer to Godzilla. and
Did you guys know Taylor was so fucking horned up for Godzilla?
Godzilla's not based on a comic book, so it didn't really come up on this show a lot. But I sort of have a thing.
Cassie, in the the late 80s or early 90s, it's been a long time. A young Phil Coulson found a new agent named Daisy Sky Johnson, that is, and we're not joking around about would Bebo put Taylor up Bebo's butt or whatever? Like this would be a romantic relationship.
For me, right? You're saying?
Yes,
who
this is
gets
for
a-
Mike. He's high in the sky.
I do have a sweatshirt with her. Should I not wear my sweatshirt with her face on it to this date? Would that be weird?
This is like the 5th time you mentioned how your wardrobe matches what
Yeah,
we
dude.
talk about on the show.
And I'm notoriously bad at improv. None of it has been a lie.
And for Greg, just to mix things up, Jessica Jones. Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones.
You know what? That's a good one. I like that. That would totally work.
I think she'd fuck your ass up.
Yeah, dude. lift me up, little lady. I want to be carried like a small little wisp of a thing.
And for Cassie, it's a double date with Swamp Thing and Man Thing.
Fuck yeah. Excuse me while I go write in my journal. So excited. Are we giving Caitlin Sandman?
I'll take him.
Well, I thought we were giving her beef Wellington and
Yeah,
shredded
yeah.
grandpa.
I'll take them too.
She's been cuckolding Lionel Luther.
I gotta have my cuck chair fold all the time.
You know, Caitlin,
Rotating
she's always has to
house.
have her cup chair full.
She's a whole scheduling app.
It's really in depth. Next question is from at your friendly neighborhood foot guy. Which of you have the prettiest feet, and which of you have the nastiest feet? And if you were to sell pictures of them, how much would you charge?
Ooh.
Caitlin?
Wow. I have to rate everyone's feet.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ryan's are elusive because he doesn't like to put them out there. So I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
give Ryan the
Yeah.
number one toes. Those toes will probably sell pretty well too. I'm gonna say $45 a foot pick.
Dang.
wait.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been looking for a new job.
At that price point,
The lucrative toes, them dogs.
you
be
got
barking.
it. Like, I know the perverts care about my feet, but I don't care about my feet. Like, so $45 a pick. That's something you got to look at. I think kind of hard.
Here's the problem. If I started OnlyFans with my feet, I'm like, oh, I got my first subscriber. Caitlin, second, Mike, third, Taylor, fourth, Cassie. Like it just
It's
be
called
you
being
guys.
supportive, Ryan.
Yeah.
That's what friends are for.
We love our friends' creative endeavors.
We are excited when our friends start OnlyFans and we join only out of support.
I've never looked, but god damn it, will I give money?
I have stayed at multiple places with Mike and Greg on vacation or whatever, and if I come out of the bathroom or whatever barefoot, all of their eyes hit the ceiling,
Yeah.
and they just
We
will
just-
not look.
Turn into
What
the
them
mask.
piggies do.
While chanting what them piggies do.
My feet are, of course, a disaster.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I pay $5 for people to look at them.
Do you have like those old person's feet where it's like the toenail is yellow and it's also turned the wrong way?
Oof.
Yeah, my toenails are all kind of freestyling. You know,
Or it just wraps around the rest of your toes.
Nail hug.
Hate it.
I'm
Nail
beat up
hub.
from the feet up. I gotta say.
Except for those sweet calves. God really gave with both hands just for your two calves.
God was like, "What's the part people care about the least? Let's like make them good on this guy."
Here's what I think the important part is. All through 6 of us, none of our feet have ever worked a day in their life. So like
Yeah.
they're all fine,
Yeah.
you know?
They're good to go.
I'll do good enough on the black market. Next question from at Screwicorn Lincoln?
Screwicorn Lincoln,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
a fan of the show, friend of the show.
They're saying if each of you were forming a boy band, which superhero TV characters would you need in your group no matter what?
Ooh. Who's Captain Steel from Legends of Tomorrow?
Oh,
Nate?
Zano? Nate
Nate,
Zano?
yeah. I need him in his dreamy hair. He just fits. He just sort of has like he's not my favorite in the Legends, but on a boy band, like you got him. He's got a cool like shiny move. He can be the disco ball. I think he's like an awesome fit.
Shit. Great first round draft pick.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Nailed
Yeah.
That's good.
You nailed it. Unfortunately, it's not your turn. I'm gonna take it.
Fuck. I do this every draft.
Is Nick Zano one of those people that girls say guys think is hot, but is not actually hot?
Probably.
I don't
Because
know.
they're lying.
If
Girls hate
only
to
we knew
let us
women,
know.
then we could ask them. But I'm gonna say yes.
I want. Was it Arrow's real life brother, Mike? What did he do?
Robbie Amell, he was Firestorm. He was the first half of Firestorm with Deo. in Legends
My
of
boy
Tomorrow.
band is named Firestorm, and
Okay.
doesn't he just look like a boy band member?
Yes.
I want
Yeah.
Amel Jr.
Cisco was in an episode.
Damn it! That's what I was going to go for.
Wait, the Flash's sidekick?
No.
No, you have all Cisco's. You take one, you take them
Yeah.
all.
You get the good one, you take the bad. That's the
Take them
Ciscos of
both,
life.
and then you have.
Including the commander of Deep Space Nine.
Oh, he's got that. He's going to be the one in the middle. Girl, you know I'm the best Starfleet captain.
Cisco. That's not what the song is about. It is now.
Caitlin, you got anybody to add to a boy band?
Wow, all of them. I can't,
All of
I
them, it's
literally
all of them.
blanked out on all. Like I'm trying to think of any character.
Name a boy for
Literally.
$1.
Name
Come
a
up with a
boy.
character.
A boy.
Name a boy.
For $1, name a boy.
Name a boy just for $1. Just name a boy.
Oh, you know what?
Name a boy.
I'm gonna take the boys, the twins, the Superboy twins,
The ones who ride on the motorcycle.
Jonathan and
Caitlin working that choreography in the front while they're in the back.
absolutely.
Doing donuts, eating donuts.
There was a short-lived show long ago called Stumptown starring one Nick Miller, and so I'm going to get him for my boy band.
Strong. Found a way. He found a way
I
to do it.
forgot about Stumptown. Was Colby Smulders in
It
that?
was starring one Colby Smulders.
That's insane.
Why do I remember that?
Because that was the era you were on.
Once again, Mike, you failed the test. Try not to put an L in her first name. You just can't do it. It's so hard.
Wolby Lowers?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. There it is. Next one we got from @daydreaming. They said, if you could create a crossover episode with any of the shows you guys have talked about, regardless of network or streaming platform, which shows would you pick?
We have to have watched.
Riverdale and Legends of Tomorrow.
Pretty good.
Damn.
Yeah, strong. That's so fucking strong. There's no better answer. I think you just.
Yeah, that's it.
Do we have to have covered both of them or just one of them?
Free game. Let's say just one of them. You got an idea?
Frasier in anything. Thank you.
Frasier in that video where he falls off the stage and goes, "Oh, I've hurt myself quite a bit."
Oh, Fraser and Niles go to see the hottest piano player in L.A., and it's Lucifer Morningstar. And
Here we go.
they just snidely talk shit the whole time.
Detective.
Detective. And now we just say detective for the rest of the
20
podcast.
minutes. I thought it was a mistake, but no, that's just what they did.
That's what they did.
Is that a missed opportunity not to cast like Kelsey Grammer as his dad in one episode?
Oh
Yes.
my god!
Well, I guess
As
that would have been God, right?
Yeah. You know that guy.
My
that
boss
dad.
is here. God.
Next question is from @Mickey Can Fist Me. Deadpool is now a character you can meet at the Avengers campus in Disneyland. Who is a character from one of your shows you would love to meet in real life?
Not at Disneyland.
Not at Disneyland.
And
just in
this
real
is
life.
different from who would you go on a date on?
Yep. Just want to meet.
Yeah.
I
I'm
guess.
gonna say Veronica from Riverdale. No further questions.
Ooh.
I would say Dark Betty from Riverdale. You can ask more questions.
I'm gonna say Morpheus
I
in my
invite
cuck
you.
chair.
Cassie, I took the question as like who would you want to hang out with, and all these pervs.
Instantly. So
Look,
quickly.
if this question came in hour one of the show, it would
Yeah.
be so friendly. Be like, well, I'd probably play Mario Kart with.
Now every question is being reduced to who do you want to bang from these shows?
Well,
I would want to hang out with Shane from The Walking Dead and ask him why he did all that.
Hey, man, why you do all that?
hey, that was a lot. Hey, bro.
I'm gonna say for both the hangout and the sexy time. Lauren Lapkus was on an episode of Lucifer. I'm gonna take that. character.
Oh,
Strong. Next we
just
got
make her run out of a parking lot again, Ryan.
this comes from a talking banana. They ask Mike and Ryan, when you started this podcast, how many episodes do you think it would go for, or did you think it would go for?
You know what's fucked up? 551.
Damn, that's the end, dude.
Damn, that's ominous as fuck.
Yeah, you could have made it a lower number. Now there's one that's literally right there. Mike, what did you foresee for this beautiful podcast?
100, just a good, cool, even number. Back when
Hundo.
shows were still good.
It's just that, like, I think that to me and Mike's credit and absolutely fault is that we don't do that thing where we like do it for 2 weeks and then quit.
Yeah.
Every time we start something, it's for fucking ever. It's always forever.
You guys are just such dedicated boys. It's so
I wish
hard.
I could quit you.
I wish I believed that.
I'm worried from the state that we're in on this podcast to do this one, but it might all end up being the same. At long time, first time is asking first fictional crush, current fictional crush. They said I'll take my answer off air. I feel like we've talked about everything.
That ain't gonna work,
But
bro.
That's absolutely not how it works.
None of us do that right now.
but have you guys? Was there anybody you're still horny for and you haven't gotten to proclaim in this last bit of this podcast right now?
I don't know if it's the first, but one of that I remember we've actually talked a lot about on the show because we went through all of X-Men 92. And it is that lady who likes to point out when people are as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. It was, of course, Anna Marie Rogue.
Yeah, for sure.
Despite the fact that she
shamelessness.
could not fit into a rocking chair
Yeah.
with that ass.
I'm surprised it took this long for us to get to Rogan or Fat Ass. I'm glad we had another opportunity here. We have one more question, guys. We're gonna get sentimental at the end here. They subject to this wholesome content only, so get your minds out of the gutter.
Oh, it's good. This is gonna be the nastiest thing we've gotten.
They're asking, what was your favorite memory from the past 550 episodes? What is more fun, watching the shows weekly or talking about it? Compliment everyone on the pod, and then make your most disgusting mouth noise. They say,
See, I told you it was disgusting.
thanks for all the years of this incredible pod. It changed how I watch TV. That's from Jimmy. Jimmy.
Not Jimmy like Barf Nuts 2000, but just Jimmy.
Yeah, just Jimmy.
Just James.
Wait,
classic Jimmy.
Did you also go to high school with Jimmy Barfnuts 2000? That guy was a dick.
Yeah. Super asshole.
Do you guys want to skip all the nice stuff and just make nasty mouth noises?
No, we'll do it. I just want to go last.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, what are the questions again?
Yeah, first one, we're going to start this off with favorite memory from the past 500. I think we kind of covered that in Humans in Theaters.
That was a good memory.
Okay, I've got one. We got all the way done with an episode once. All the way done. And as I pushed myself back from the chair, I put my foot on the power strip and turned it off. I could feel, I was like, what is this? And then I'm like depressing the button with my foot and everything goes dark. And we had to start the episode completely over again because we hadn't saved. It was like we were just done. I was standing up. And this was like when we recorded really late, so it was like 2 a.m, and we just had to start over again.
Do you remember that scene from, it's been in a lot of movies, but from Defy Bloods where the guy steps on the mine and everyone has to run and like, try to figure out how to get his foot off?
Don't get up.
Just keep your foot down for a second.
Oh my gosh.
That's a hard one to top. There was a moment it became like so much bigger in our world than in the world of the show. But there's just so many good shows we also didn't talk about. But Legion, there was these floating Hulk cans, and just we all were so convinced the mystery of the floating Hulk cans would be revealed.
We were talking about it
talked about it a lot, and it
A
never
new theory.
fucking came up. It didn't matter to anybody, but we were obsessed.
I totally forgot about the floating Hulk cans, and I even rewatched the show like over the pandemic, and it got to the floating Hulk cans, and the person I was watching with was like, "Oh, those floating Hulk cans." I was like, "Those fucking Hulk cans." I swear. They're like, "Oh, do they come back?" I was like, "No," and that's the problem.
The girls bought me a whole can mug because of that.
Yeah.
That could have that's probably my second favorite
That-
collector's item.
Did it float?
Unfortunately, no. And I
Could
found
you make
that
a
out-
float
I
in
found
it?
that out the hard way.
Honestly, this show did give me a really strong appreciation for the song "Return of the Mac," and for a while I would not stop singing it.
A good portion.
So I do appreciate that from this show.
Did-
For a
Ditto
song called
Deo.
Return of the Mac to make a return.
Yeah.
That's so classic, you know?
Real quick, back on those whole cans. Just the fact that we every week came up with a new theory, and we were so determined. Caitlin went to Comic-Con, went to the panel.
At Hall in
Asked
Hall
them-
H. In fucking
in
Hall
Hall
H.
H.
Yes.
Asked them. She brought this to the real life. Said, what's up with those green hands? And they were truly, the people who created the show were like, never put a thought to it.
Yeah.
So
No,
we spent our
no,
whole-
Cassie, it's more even fucked up because they said you know like the Beatles, and they're like, yeah, Yellow Submarine, got it, that's it, and that was their
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
answer. That was their
Their
fucking
Oh
entire-
my
answer.
gosh.
It's like
their entire
Bullshit.
answer.
You made a wonderful show. Fuck you.
Fuck you, dude. Straight up.
basically,
fuck
it's
you.
an unmoored signifier. It kind of points out the meaninglessness of the sign signified relationship.
It kind of goes along with the second question where they're asking what is more fun, watching the shows weekly or talking about it. That's specific.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Nobody's just saying,
easy.
you know, I love these shows, but I kind of hate you guys. So it's
I do have to say though, like speaking of Legion, there would be these moments where shows like Legion would come around, and the delta between how bad like your average Walking Dead episode is, and then like watching an episode of Legion that you're like so engrossed in, you would really feel how good the good shows were
Yeah.
by having that baseline of bad shows. And that doesn't make it worth it, obviously, but it made you really appreciate the artistry of like the shows that pulled it off.
Yeah, I think I'm missing that now with Movie of the Year, our sister podcast, which comes out Thursday morning.
I swear to God, another plug for this.
Follow it, subscribe on all of your podcast platforms. Between that and then my ability to just like know what's good and bad before the movies even come out, I don't watch bad movies anymore, and it sort of dulls how good movies are.
Yeah, dude,
You know?
it's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I still see bad movies. Guys, Twister's insane.
Oh, Twisters was great.
Yeah, I love having a character that's a scientist being like, it's not about data. What do you feel the storm might do?
Yeah. And that they kept stopped doing the science to be like, we gotta go tell people that there's a tornado and help.
Yeah,
They're like, what are you doing? Just yelling there's a tornado? They can see it.
The thing about
Do the
people
science.
the people who live in Oklahoma, Tornado Alley, they've never dealt with a tornado and they never will learn how to. That's what we've learned. This is an early one. Favorite. This show started, and maybe I say this every 100 episodes. This show started because Ryan and I looked at each other and went, there's 4 shows based on comic books. That's crazy. That's like, did you ever think there would be 4 shows at one time? Should we probably start a podcast about that? Not knowing, and it was Walking Dead, Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Gotham. And at the time, we're like so different in tones and vibes and quality. We should probably do a podcast to have thousands of hours of stupid bullshit and bringing all you idiots in with us. This is the longest thing I've ever done in my life.
You will die doing this.
And that is
now.
a threat.
It's an absolute 551 episodes. It's coming up. I think X-Men and Spider-Man the Animated Series are the epitome of funner to talk about. Well, it's fun to watch, but it's really when you come together and talk about how insane those are. We have left crying. The Make-A-Wish episode truly broke us. The amount of times we'll just cry from trying to describe these shows. It's genuinely so fun.
I think that was a big turning point for the show is when we decided to do that, and we did it for a love of X-Men, and we did it before. I think it was 2 weeks before everyone else decided that they loved that show, so that was really good on us. But just adds such a crazy breath of fresh air to my week of just they aired this shit.
Yeah.
And for
This was for 7-year-olds.
for Spider-Man to that's what is so nerve-wracking about picking the third show after this is you have to have this dose of absolute batshit incredibleness and terribleness all at the same time.
Yeah. The next part of this, we have compliment and mouth noise left. But Ryan, I know you wanted to go last. Do you want to go after compliments, before mouth noise? Where do you want to slip in with your favorite memory?
Yeah, that was my favorite memory is when we did X-Men and Spider-Man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to re-say it again?
When we did X-Men and Spider-Man.
Rad. So good. Those are great moments. All right. Let's go around, compliment each other.
Oh, I hate this part.
Yep. We're
is bad.
going to be strong here. We're going to do it. Mike, compliment somebody.
When Greg and Taylor and Caitlin, when you were all given your pink slips, you took that so well with grace and aplomb, and I could not imagine handling that because we went, no, you've all been fine hosts. Cassie's got it. And that you've never held that grudge against Cassie is so kind.
That's true. As
That's
far as
so
she
great.
knows, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Cassie
Publicly.
never listened to the podcast called The Greg Taylor and Caitlin Show. You are not going to like that.
I know
They
I'm
gripe.
I will never survive, so I will stay away from it. Ryan, feeling brave enough to compliment somebody?
Yeah, I'll do it. Greg, you coming on the show made me truly believe that the superhero show isn't perfect. Some people are just awful on it. But made me realize that we have to get you on a different podcast, and we did, and that is called Movie of the Year, which you can find on...
Of the year.
There's a section for this.
When we asked, Caitlin came on to fill in for a while, and then she just had to come on for the rest of the time. And I was so excited because Cassie and Mike are so boring, and I tried to make this fun. It's impossible, and Caitlin, thank you for helping me on that. Taylor hosted for years. I think 3 years after he wanted to quit, he was still hosting.
Yeah, and driving down from LA to
driving
do
down
it.
from
Yeah, that's
LA.
insane.
But
There was
Yeah.
no Zoom then.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, your mental health deteriorated, bud.
Well, that
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, those are dark times for you, but great for the show.
What's awesome about this show, and I think this will be a compliment for Taylor, but maybe just for the show existing, is he was just a dude I met through other friends at Thanksgiving, and I watched him make jokes that only I was laughing at across the room, and it was like, oh, that guy's got superhero show energy. I'm gonna try to bring him
This
over
guy's
here.
got no broad appeal. He should be on my show.
This guy is so niche.
And he fit in with this circus so well.
Yeah, I guess my compliment is probably to specifically Mike and Ryan and to everyone here that that Thanksgiving was a big hit for me because I had one person that laughed at anything I said. And you fucking weirdos sometimes appreciate that when I make the same 8 out of 10 joke 27 weeks in a row. Which no one else does, but you guys do, and that made me very happy.
What's weird is that one Thanksgiving joke that people laughed at was the 8 out of 10 joke long before that episode had aired. That was just your thing.
I had a joke waiting for a reference.
It's now time to make the weirdest mouth noise we can.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Ryan was still in the middle of his comment.
Oh, yeah,
Cassie.
go ahead, Ryan. We'll give the platform to you.
We thought that nobody could host better than Taylor. And then, like Godzilla, walks in on land, comes in and controls this thing with such a firm hand, with so much cursing at us when it's not recording and so many pleasantries when we are recording. I appreciate you so much, Cassie. And Mike, couldn't have done it without you.
I love you all. Fuck off.
And now
Thank you,
comes
Dad from Succession.
the weirdest mouth noise. I will give this over to Caitlin. Caitlin, can you give us a weird mouth noise to end this out?
I feel like we all got to do it at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah, ready?
absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah, this will be audio real good.
This is
the opposite of poison.
this is what we need.
Count us down, Cassie.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Good.
Several of you didn't do anything at all.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fucked
I
up.
feel like
Really
That's
quiet.
that's
Why
bad.
was that so
That's-
quiet?
I feel like I got Ashton Kutcher punked right there.
I think
You know what?
Yeah, that's
I think
bad.
Zoom actually like censored it because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Zoom's like, I'm not transmitting any of those.
But
noises.
everyone has thumbs up all over the screen, which is weird. So thanks, Zoom.
All right, you guys, that is the end of this episode. Woo! That is 550 episodes down. Thank you all for being a part of it. Thank you for sending your emails. We could not have done
550
it.
more.
Yeah.
550 more.
Do invite me back for episode 1100.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But then, like, that is it, though. 1100, we're done.
Yeah, because we'll be like 60 then. So we gotta put a pin in it at that point.
You can follow us. We're over at Your Pop Filter on Instagram. A website you should go to, popfilter.co and popfilter.co/Amazon, because we'll get some money that way. Other shows that are on the network, there's Movie of the Year.
What?
Have you heard of it,
Have you?
everybody?
There's a little podcast called Movie of the Year. It's very good. There's delightful people on it. You should check it out.
Mike is hosting this season, and it's 1996.
That
Yeah.
Two good things
Deal with
happening
that.
over there. Next week, you guys, we will be on our potentially last episode, if you ask Ryan, 551.
If you read the omens.
If you believe in what the stars are protecting. Next week, we'll be covering the premieres of The Penguin, Agatha All Along, and the Winona Earp movie. So it's going to be another big episode for us.
That's our biggest show ever.
Ever.
Damn, 551, the biggest episode ever.
Everyone's
I bet
screaming about
Levi's thought they had claim to that number. It's ours now.
It's ours.
Something in the genes.
For Mike, I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I am Greg. For Taylor, I am Caitlin. And for Caitlin, I am me. And Mike, I am me as well. Everyone is here, and we all know names.
We are
That's
all
550. Thank you. Bye.